E3, bring the hype.
Yeah, E3.
Not nearly hyped enough.
This is going to be a very different stream because I really am a bit surprised at how lackluster a few things were. I know you're super hype about Jump Force. We did an entire video, which we'll link here after the archive.
Yeah, first of all, I am committed in my goal to start every video on this channel with yelling the topic. I'm pretty sure, like with Jump Force, it was like, Jump Force!
Promise Neverland discussion. Promise Neverland, Dr.
No, I
Stone.
think the last one I was like,
Rinse
that
and
monkey
repeat.
terrifies me.
I mean, it's become the chat icon now.
Yeah, according to you, David, Microsoft essentially stole the show, and even from what I'm seeing, I can agree with that. Even though I'm not a fan of all of this stuff they do, it seems like they pulled what Nintendo pulled last year, which is where Nintendo just came out guns blazing, like, here's all the things that the fans want, and it seems like Microsoft did that this year.
Yeah. What I was curious about was your thoughts on Nintendo, because you don't have the least amount of time free.
Right. Well, yeah, I gotta go to work at 2, but okay. So, I honestly though, like, what I miss the Nintendo conferences. I miss when they did conferences. I really do. I have for a long time. They just don't.
The Skyward Sword conference.
I'm gonna bring it up. Yeah, the last conference was when poor Miyamoto was trying to show off Miyamoto himself was out there trying to show off Skyward Sword, and he was having such a difficult time. It was so fucking sad because people were like so judgmental about motion controls. Oh my god! And that was supposed to be the moment where it's like, look how 1-to-1 it is. It was like,
it's like walking into my room and trying to connect to anything.
Yeah, so they didn't really consider that. Like, oh fuck, everyone in the audience is gonna have like Bluetooth on and shit. And you can go back and watch that. It's so sad where they're like, Dr. Bluetooth. But
I think it made Watch Mojo's list of top E3 fails.
Oh, so sad. But so I understand why they don't, but like I really do miss that because Nintendo's E3 doesn't bring the hype like it used to because like it's just pre-recorded. It doesn't have that like this is happening live feel that the other conferences have.
Well, I mean, Square did the same thing this year, essentially.
Well, yeah. So this year, to me, it was like what Nintendo. To me, it feels like Nintendo is trying to distance themselves from E3 more and more every year because they just announce shit whenever they want to. They don't wait for E3. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Which, in some ways, it's a good thing. In some ways, it's a bad thing. You know what I mean? So, like, in some ways, I get because they announced Smash just randomly. Like, it was like just some random fucking day where they announced Smash. You know what I mean? Like they don't wait for E3 for big announcements anymore. Like there was really nothing that big other like Ridley was the biggest thing. Like obviously, like that was the huge thing, and I will give them that. That's something that's been like a meme in the Smash fandom. How much people want Ridley, and how essentially for the last Smash, the excuse from Sakurai was, well, he's too big. You can't put him in the game, and everyone was like, what? Ridley was cool to see.
And Ridley's been a mod for fan projects for years now.
So I mean that's going to be fun, and it's essentially I'm torn because when they announced Smash Brothers, I took it as this is going to be a brand new game, and it kind of is, but it's like teetering on like an ultimate version. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I don't know how to feel because it is cool that it's like. It is cool that it's like this ultimate. Essentially, I'm going to see it as an ultimate version of Smash. And even Sakurai said, we're probably never going to be able to do this again. This is probably going to be even if we continue the Smash series in the future, this is going to be probably the only time where everyone is included. So I will see it as like, this is going to be the version to play for sure. There's a bunch of tweaks and performance enhancements and like little enhancements here and there.
But Red, Melee.
Well, yeah, everyone. I mean, it's cool to see Young Link again. That's nostalgic. But like again, I see this not as a new game, but as so basically like a super version. You know, like this is the primo version essentially. So in that regard, I'm a little disappointed because I'm a spoiled bitch and I wanted new characters. Like rather than fucking Pichu and Young Link coming back, I would have much preferred like, here's Crash, here's. I don't know, fucking break the fandom and put in Sans from Undertale.
No.
It'd be fucking funny. But yeah, so I mean, that's my main thing with that.
But everybody's focused on one thing. They downgraded Snake's ass.
Bro, I made a meme about it. Here, I want you to live edit this up in the stream. I'm gonna send it right now. I made this yesterday. That's how I'm way ahead of you on this one.
I figured you'd have it.
They also downgraded Samus's boobs. It's like a total desexualization, apparently.
Oh, I'm sure Thurman will be upset about that one.
Mm-hmm.
His waifu.
There, it's in Kontrolled Khaos Executive.
Oh, fun. I gotta.
Okay, would you rather be Discord?
Can you put it in Discord? I'm scared to open my messenger.
Gotcha. Here it comes. But you guys talk for a while because when I send shit, I gotta stop talking.
Yeah, your shitty Wi-Fi.
Oh, they're mine sent real fast. All right.
Yes. All the yes.
Sakurai, what was your main objective for this new Smash Bros. Game? Oh man, I had to untighten Snake's ass. It was just out of control.
I love it.
So I'm gonna need that live edit up.
Working on it. Give me a second.
So I'd like to hear other people's thoughts on the Nintendo conference. To me, I don't know. I think it's going to be fun. I'm excited for a lot of the improvements. I'm excited that Link is Breath of the Wild Link now. But I would have liked. So I'm a fan. I don't know if anyone here is into Pikmin at all.
Yes.
Yeah, there you go. Okay, high five. I love the Pikmin games, and I had heard rumors of potentially a Pikmin 4, and I was just hoping to see something like that, or a new core entry into any of their things. Maybe some more on Metroid Prime 3.
Or Heathen.
What? Or 4. Did I say 3? How about 4?
Yes. You did.
But I apologize. So my main issue is just, to me, it just seemed like, I don't know, because I love all the indie games. I love seeing that, but I think there should have been one more big, here's a hint at the next big thing in our core franchises, something like that. The new Mario Party is interesting.
The Destroyer of Friendships is back.
Well, because I haven't been a big fan of the recent Mario Parties because they went into the mini star system and they're all in the same car or whatever. So I mean, I'm hoping that they kind of bring back what I loved about Mario Party, because that shit could be fun. I always when a Mario Party's good, that's the go-to shit to bring out at a party. So that would be fun. But yeah, I mean, other than that, some good-looking indie games, of course. There's that Pokemon that people are interested in on the Switch, but I don't really know much about that.
I'm a bit hesitant on the Pokemon Let's Go, simply because it's integrating Pokemon Go into it. Is just why?
Because Pokemon Go is a fucking phenomenon, but they're 2 years too late.
Exactly. If they were,
dude, I remember Pokemon Go was literally everything.
Going from
when Hillary Clinton
I would go from ITT.
Oh my God! Wait, do you remember when Hillary Clinton made a cringy Pokemon Go pun?
God.
I wish people would Pokemon Go to the polls.
Oh God! No.
This is why no one elected you, you fucking bitch. Also, the fact
demonetized.
That a horribly corrupt person.
But no.
By the way, just to be open, because a lot of people think when you say something bad about Hillary that you're for Trump. No, I hated both. Moving on.
They're both equally shit. But anyway, no, that. I remember going from ITT to the Frog Hollow Park there, just every day during class.
You guys would fucking skip class to play Pokemon Go, and I was.
I never did that.
Some people did. I hear this.
I definitely didn't walk out of Mr. Friend's class to go play Pokemon Go because I was more entertaining than listening to him drone on for 5 hours.
Okay, I just clicked on our stream to check on the audio, and nothing makes me happier than just seeing 90% of the screen has that ass.
Anyway, I think I can de-live edit that.
No, that should stay up as long as we're talking about Nintendo.
Okay. No, it was just with Pokemon Let's Go, I saw parts of it. I'm like, why are you telling players about what water and grass during Brock's gym. I remember having to learn that shit the hard way, or just constantly healing my Charmander over and over and over again in red and blue.
Yeah, there is the. Are you talking about like excessive hand holding in games?
Yeah, that was the one thing that drove me nuts about that. But Project Octopath looks phenomenal.
Is that the one? Which one's the one where it's like 8-bit graphics, but then they're
that
like,
was
like
it.
Yeah, that shit looks cool. Like I don't just the visual style alone.
I mean, you can download the demo today, and then the second demo, I think it was the 24th. Let me actually look here.
And then, of course, there's Fortnite on the Switch, and I don't care about Fortnite. Everyone and their fucking mother loves Fortnite. I don't care.
Okay, I have a love-hate relationship with Fortnite. It's great for content. It's not great game. It's not a great game.
Bro, that's like the new thing that people are obsessed with.
Yeah, I know. That's
also the new thing that like 10-year-old kids are playing too, apparently.
Yeah, I find it funny that it's beating Destiny though on streaming.
I have like most of my coworkers are like in their like 30s, and they're like mothers and shit. And like I've heard many of them talk about how their children will be playing Fortnite and screaming in the basement. And I'm just like, oh, okay.
I mean, I booted it up because I got shit free from Twitch Prime. I just sent a video in there. Yep, Fortnite still sucks.
I also hate. Isn't Fortnite like very microtransaction-y?
I mean, there's the V-Bucks, there's the freaking season, but basically a season pass that recycles like every 2 or 3 months. I don't know. I never buy it because I don't play it enough.
Yeah.
But like.
But yeah, I mean, I don't know. I mean, I guess if people...
It's great to have an actual shooter on the Switch because I agree with one thing Justin said the other day. A shooter can actually, help sell a system because a lot of people flock to the shooter genre. So seeing something other than I know you're a Splatoon fan, but seeing something other than Splatoon in there, at least will, help sales. Not that they really need it because pretty much everybody and their grandmother bought one for Breath of the Wild.
Well, what it comes down to is the Switch will always have that advantage of it's a game that is on every other console, but if it's on this one, you can play it anywhere, and that kind of is a cool draw. Like, oh, I can play Fortnite at my grandma's funeral.
Well, isn't that why they went to Fortnite mobile anyways? Like on the tablets and on the phones.
I mean, yeah, technically you're right there, Noble, and you're finally alive in the stream.
You had to wait until something cared about.
The whole time, didn't realize it.
Yeah, but like with that, that's great. People that like Fortnite can, play it. The controls suck on the Switch, and you can't. If you are a PS4 player of Fortnite, you can't port your account over, which is another controvery that we'll save for another.
Well, that's Sony's fault though, right?
Yeah, they're doing the same thing with fucking Minecraft and pretty much everything else. But yeah, there's that. Minecraft, I apparently got a new update that's coming out the 21st. But what really drove me, because I never played Mario and Rabbids, they have a Donkey Kong expansion now.
Add Donkey Kong to anything and it's better.
Yeah, exactly, right? I just hope I can just punch one of the Rabbids repeatedly. I hate the Rabbids.
Oh my god, I just picked up Nintendo's E3 just to like get like a list of what would happen so I can remember it. And the first thing is CNET. Nintendo forgets to talk about its paid online service at E3.
It's $20 for a fucking year. Who the hell cares?
Cheap as fuck. People need to chill on that about that shit.
Oh my god. I absolutely am okay with paying $20 a year compared to $100 between my other two systems.
That's like the standards. It's weird how different the standards are for like multiple things with Nintendo, right? Where it's like the standards are, and it goes both directions. Like you have like one is the whole online shit. Like they're like league behind on online, and I think that's kind of why people are like, well, we can't pay money for it. But like if they get like I mean, like if I'm hoping that once they start paying for it, they actually start getting it up to the level of like Xbox and Microsoft, or I mean Sony and Microsoft.
Yeah, but see, here's the thing that I do agree with them with. Nintendo's servers have never really been super stable. They have a
Well, you want to? I mean, just to play devil's advocate here, when they first announced that like the paid service, one of the reasons they said so was,
So like
how do you expect us to fucking make improvements
exactly,
if we're
it was
not?
the same
You know
way
what
with
I mean?
Sony, and that's where I was getting at. It was the same way with Sony. Like back on the PS3, the servers sucked. I would get kicked from matches and Call of Duty and whatever else I was playing at the time, constantly. Then they brought out like PlayStation Plus. People flocked to that because of the free games. Now, fast forward to today, you know, you can get into a match. You can stay in a match unless your ping's ridiculous, for you know literal days because I've marathoned. When Destiny 2 came out, I was one of those idiots that was sitting there marathoning the entire campaign until the raid came out. So I get it. You know, you need money to actually have a successful server-based system, but fucking Nintendo has always been free, just like Sony had always been free, and there was this same backlash when they announced like the PlayStation Plus was your only way to play multiplayer. And I'm just like, I'm okay with paying $50 a year if it means I won't get disconnected every 3 matches. So it's you got to meet somewhere in that middle, and the fact that they're doing $20 for a year, that just shows that they care a little bit more about their consumer base, I think.
Yeah, I agree. And here's something I'm going to send you, right? So apparently, directly after the E3 Direct stream, their stock took a big dip. This is Nintendo's stock.
Oh my god, that doesn't surprise me.
Well, see, to me, what it comes down to is that like their fucking directs are so short. Like they just feel so short, and like literally, like when it ended after the Smash shit, I was like, oh, that's it. You know what I mean?
I was the same way with Squares.
So to me, I just think that they can't bank, because listen, indie games are great. All of those are great, and they're great like filler content for a console. But you can't bank a console off of it. If you want, you know what I mean. And so like investors, as you can see with this the stock I just I don't know if you're putting it up on the screen.
Yeah, it's live edited. It took down Lord Sakurai, sadly.
Oh, Sakurai-senpai. But no. So like as you can see though, like, and this is I'm reading the article. People don't trust. The Switch can't just survive on just fucking Smash and Pokemon alone. Like, that's gonna help.
Justin, I see you there in the live chat.
What?
Justin's in the live chat.
Oh, okay. But yeah, so like that might help. But like, I think that they should have. It would have taken just one more main IP with another. Like a Pikmin 4 would have been so nice, or maybe more information. I'm gonna assume, since they didn't talk about it, that Metroid isn't coming out this year, which is a big mistake.
Isn't. They actually were approached about it, and I think the article's in our Discord server, and they said we'll show it off when we're actually confident and ready to show it off.
So yeah, there's that, and then I'm trying to think.
I respect the hell out of that because
no, I do too. But like, I think that they should have had some other team working on one more main. It just felt to me. You ever just feel like there's just like so close but not there? Like that direct would have been. I would have been able to confidently say that was a good direct if there was one more main IP entry,
Mm-hmm.
Like one, even if they want to do, because I know it's like super far from, like I don't know how long they want to like ride on the DLC train of Breath of the Wild, but if they want to keep Breath of the Wild going, maybe a new Breath of the Wild DLC. I don't know, but something that like of meat to hype up people,
So do you guys remember that when they announced the Switch, they had like a Shin Megami Tensei, tease. They had a No More Heroes game teased. They had like 5 or 6 other games that we haven't seen anything from since the original, Switch reveal.
Huh.
So bringing back any of those, saying yes, we're still working on this. It's still in development. Something like that would have been. They're still working on that. Maybe we won't see a dip in stock. Maybe we won't see so many people disappointed by Nintendo's, direct.
Yeah, and I gotta be honest, it's never a smart move. Even though I totally understand, I get it that what Sakurai did with like basically having everyone in this game, that's a lot of work, and I hopefully, but here's the thing, people aren't gonna like the casual gamer isn't, or the casual like person that's watching isn't gonna respect how much work that is. But it's not a good idea to say in the stream, I hope you weren't expecting too many new characters because of this thing we did. Like, that sounds like a parent just like, well, you're not getting 2 candy bars, you're only getting 1. And, well, that's factual and accurate, and that makes sense. That's not the kind of shit you say at an E3 where your job is to hype. You know what I mean? Like I gotta be
on the
honest. When he said,
website-
"Oh, I hope you're not expecting too many new characters," I was like, "Well, that puts a fucking damper on it, doesn't it?"
On the website, there's listed 66 characters. They showed off 65 at E3. So
right, I can see there being one more or some shit that they sneak in there. But yeah, I mean, I guess just
I get mechanically and just the fact of how much it's going to have to be to rebuild like entire characters from.
Oh yeah, it's certainly a lot of work. I just think
I get it, but
I don't think it's smart to say that.
No,
it
isn't.
That's a hype dampener. You know what I mean? And the whole point of E3 is to be like, this is going to be Jesus' resurrection manifested into a game. You know what I mean? Like, that's what they got to do. So yeah, but I mean, that's why. I mean, any other thoughts on Nintendo's? It was just it should have been better. They should have put more because last year's was fucking godly. I don't know how they go from. I was like, I expected them to at least try to match last year's, but I guess.
I felt it was lackluster, to be honest. I mean, it didn't have any.
I agree.
I don't really think there's a whole lot more to say. There's plenty of games that were announced, like Daemon X Machina, that mech brawler. I know Justin was.
Oh yeah, the mech thing.
I know you hate mechs, Red.
No. Hey, let me clarify. I don't like mech shows as much because I feel like the focus is on the mech and not the characters usually. But mech games are fine, or mech shows that focus on the characters and not just the mech are fine too.
Obviously, we got the fucking Just Dance. They announced what's been rumored.
Yeah, oh my god, I was like, that's unnecessary. No one cares about that.
I mean, when they came in with the most hype on the Just Dance, that to me told me that this was already not going to be a great show.
Yeah, I agree. I agree.
When Ubisoft opened with a fucking furry.
Hold on, we're not to Ubisoft yet. But save your rage.
I mean, it's referring to Just Dance. Like, that was their opener, was Just Dance. And then the sizzle reel for, Nintendo's like, it's coming here too. Like,
Super Mario Party. I'm looking forward to Mario Party, because I gotta be honest, that one of the coolest things that was shown off at this entire Direct was the whole, some of the games, I like that tank game where, you connect both screens to make a thing and you drag the finger across to show where it's connecting. That's pretty clever. I like that.
It's all fun and games till somebody, gets, pissed that
someone
you got
fucking
a
grabs the
roll
Switch
and they throw your tablet of your Switch. Like, fuck you cheated.
Dragon Ball Fighters is coming to Switch. I'm just scrolling through all this now.
That's
I'm
been
assuming that was a DLC for Xenoblade Chronicles. Is that a DLC?
Yep.
It was just they didn't. It gave me the feel of they didn't give it their all. And that kind of bothers me.
Oh, of course.
So do you want to move on to?
I don't think there was any matching last year's, simply because everybody was still riding the hype of the Switch itself. But now that hype's kind of died down, that there's no major titles being released constantly, that's what's kind of oh wow, we get Smash at the end of the year, cool, that's great. We got some great indie games. We got a new Mario Party. We got Project Octopath, which, has been a big hype, but aside from that, do we need a fourth fucking Fire Emblem game this year? You can only milk that so much. But yeah,
I'd like to. Yeah, I mean, I'd also like to see Nintendo try to do another new IP, because I mean, the last one they did, the Inklings, that went over real well.
What would they do next, though? I mean,
but you never know. That's the problem. It's impossible to predict what IP. You just have to try something. You know what I mean? No one could have predicted Squid People. But it worked. You know what I mean?
It worked. And then they created a whole other genre in Rule 34.
I guess I'd like to see them try new ideas again. Splatoon was one of those new ideas. It's like a shooter where you use ink as a weapon, but you also swim through it. It was back when they introduced Pikmin. That was their new IP. It was this really you're as small as a bug, and you're collecting small things, and you're fighting insects. I love little when new ideas, when Nintendo puts out new ideas, and I feel like they're banking on the indie market to do that now, and they do that, but it's just Nintendo, you gotta step it up. Come on.
Yeah. Okay. One second. Let me move this a little bit.
What's happening?
Thanks for that heads up, Noble.
What happened?
Oh, there was a little bit of an echo. I moved the mic over a little bit.
There was a lot of bit of an echo. It was pretty bad.
On the
Thank
stream
you
or
for
just
that.
on the Discord call?
Both. And I'm still getting a lot of echo too.
Yeah, well, that's on your end. Let me check the stream.
I mean, when I checked it, there was a bit, but I didn't think there's anything we could do about it because there's two people and they can't use their headphones.
Not horrible on the stream itself. Okay.
Testing to home. Stay on the stream and I'll wait. Blah, 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 blah. Echo. Is there echo? Yeah.
Yeah, let me load it back up.
No, wait for that to come.
Not horrible on the stream itself. Okay.
Testing to home. Stay on the stream and I'll wait.
There is a little bit. There is a little bit.
Yeah, I didn't, because I had checked earlier in the stream. I don't think it's enough to like horribly.
Yeah, there's obviously not a whole lot we can do until I have like an audio.
If you want to
splitter.
just turn us down a little bit, like turn us down to the point where you can.
Yep,
like,
I am
hear
turning
us
you back down a little bit.
comfortably, but not yet. So, you want to move on to Microsoft so you can fucking hype?
Well, I think what we can get out of the way really quickly is EA.
What do they do? Oh wait. Okay, I have to. What I did see is that they announced a game and they were like, and there'll be no loot box, no.
The fact that that's a fucking selling point.
And because PewDiePie was talking about it in like a cringe video, and he was like, "It is so sad that that is something that like has to be like announced and then subsequently cheered for."
It really is. But I mean, they've created that monster of like loot boxes being, you know, this big scary thing. With, you know, when they did what they did with Battlefront too. Which the poor guy that went on stage, I feel so bad for him. He got no response whatsoever.
I heard it was mega cringe, like with them trying to get the audience to cheer and shit.
It was pretty fucking bad.
Oh no!
I felt so bad for him. Like, he's up there, you know. Like, we've listened to fans. We've, you know, made, you know, everything cosmetic based. We've made, you know, basically we've turned Battlefront 2 into Overwatch, which you've suggested.
Please don't leave us.
please don't abandon our servers. You know, bringing back like Clone Wars characters, that was pretty cool. But I think their game's pretty much dead at this point, and it's their own doing. You know,
Yeah, I mean, is anyone hyped about anything that EA brings out anymore? Like, remind me, literally. I don't know.
mean, I love Battlefield, but even I'm like, okay, you do this every year. It's either Battlefront or Battlefield. I knew it
Or
was coming.
sports thing.
You know, that's one thing that's a constant now. You know, the only other thing that I really gave a shit about myself was Vince Impella talking about the Star Wars IP that they're working on, Jedi Fallen Order, which is set during that period of time where the Jedi were being hunted down and everything. So, I mean, that's an interesting time period for them to explore, and with Respawn, they'll do phenomenal with that. I hate that EA owns Respawn now. They just sucked that up right after Titanfall 2, so I'm like, oh, great, now I've got microtransactions. Hopefully not in this game. They're talking that it's potentially, you know, only single player. I don't see how they can monetize that. But given EA, who knows? But yeah, aside from that, like, there was nothing.
By the way, I don't. David, try to encourage Kate to talk more on the screen. You're welcome
Sorry,
to
you're
say
just
your
talking
opinions.
about the two that I don't really care about
Oh,
that
okay.
much. So I'm just like, okay, I'll just sit back.
Yeah,
I'll let you.
no, Ethan.
You know, last year I was really, really hyped for Anthem, their other game that they're working on from the people that made, you know, Mass Effect. But now it just looks like Iron Man mixed with Mass Effect mixed with Destiny.
I think this one will change the way people looked at Destiny. I think it'll be what Destiny could have been.
You know, I could give you that. But I think, you know, with every sci-fi shooter now, it's like, how can we be like Destiny instead of how can we be different? You know,
Yeah, I don't know much about Destiny other than apparently 2 dropped the ball hardcore according to you.
Yeah. It was there when they force, you know, people to, you know, buy the DLC to continue, you know, anything, you know, that's pretty scummy. But yeah, there's that. There's not anything else really to talk about. You know, they've had some indie games. One released the day of the conference. Good job. Who gives a shit? Fuck EA.
EA Sport.
Well, let's move on to who stole the show. Microsoft.
Definitely.
Like 50 titles announced in a little over an hour.
Yeah, and Thurman and I were filming a video while you were watching that shit in the background. I was like, you just kept messaging me like, oh my god.
I mean, the minute they announced a new Halo, they'd already won for me.
But like,
I'm pathetic when it comes to that.
all agree that Halo is being milked?
Fuck you.
I mean, is it? I don't know.
Like, I see where you're coming from on it being milked. I'm not gonna lie.
I know you've talked about the expanded universe that they could go into, and I hope they do.
Yeah, that's what I've been reading about this game. You know, they from like interviews and everything. Because I refuse to sit down and watch 72 hours of constant coverage. I do need sleep. I cannot, exist on fumes. But I pretty much do anyway. You're right. But like they're putting this right after Halo 5, which I'm kind of disappointed in. But I can potentially see, where this can go right. But Halo 5 being a shitty sales game, I'm hoping they learned from the mistakes they made there. Because nobody gave a fuck about Spartan Lock.
Yeah, I guess it's because I heard a lot of bad things last Halo, so I don't understand.
I'm just waiting for Justin to hop in there like, Halo 5 is the greatest stuff.
Oops.
Yeah, well. Like, we'll get to Sony and how they handled things later.
Do we have comments?
Yeah, it's Justin.
Oh, okay. Justin, if you want to talk, get the fuck in here.
Yeah,
Can we
you can
talk
join
about
the
Gears?
stream, man. You can fill Thurman's spot as well.
Oh, and what'd you say, Noble?
Can we take a few minutes to talk about Gears or the variety thereof?
Oh, God, yes. Noble, you're a Gears guy more than me, so...
I remember playing the first Gears.
Gears 5. I'm not thrilled about the Funko Pop one. I think that's just a cash grab.
What was that?
And-
I saw that.
I think they've just got like a Funko Pop line at this point.
Yeah,
It's
I
like,
assumed that was
fuck it,
just
we're
to
here,
announce
we'll
Funko
announce it
Pop.
here.
Well, no, it's a Funko Pop game. It's basically a Gears geared for kids. Because the
I don't
original
think
Gears is a really
Is that
graphic
Justin joining the
game.
stream? I heard Discord blorp.
Justin, can we hear you?
But the other thing is the Gears strategy, which is basically a cash grab at Halo Wars, I think.
Yeah, I mean,
Depending on how it plays out, because it could play out like XCOM, which would make it really cool. Or it could be a Halo Wars. I don't know, because it looks like it's personalized characters, which means XCOM, but I don't know.
Like, I don't know how to feel about the strategy game, because, yeah, there's lots of, just like Halo, there's lots of, like, expanded lore in the Gears universe, but strategy game and Gears doesn't seem too wise to me. I don't know. I mean, they're saying this place, like, they're saying this place, like, before Gears 1, wasn't it?
Well, the way I'm looking at it, the way they could do it, if they play it like XCOM, because XCOM is basically that same, literally the same genre, just with a different type of character. Because you've got your humans versus your alien overlords that are, like, basically invading, infiltrating the Earth. Same concept with Gears originally.
Yeah, I can see that.
In this case, it's the locust from underground instead of from space.
See, with Gears, I again, like, I can see the comparison there. I just don't know how to feel about a strategy game in that universe, because I'm so used to, the cover-based, gameplay. I mean, that's in XCOM, so they would have to...
Well, XCOM utilizes cover base as well.
Yeah, that's why I'm like, I can see your comparison more and more the more I play it in my head. It could work. You've sold me.
And we all know I play a lot of XCOM, so
yeah.
the two games that I would love to play together, that would actually be a game I would buy. I'd buy it at full retail.
Yeah, I mean, That could definitely be put into the podcast now. Like, since we're utilizing game base, in the corner. Oh, and Justin, fucked right off. Okay.
Justin!
That's okay. Like,
How dare.
how dare.
You guys gotta carry the fucking Microsoft section. That's you guys.
So, I mean, we had a Frozen trailer for Kingdom Hearts 3.
Yep.
Not true. Kingdom Hearts 3 is just no.
Well, you're wrong.
Mad Noble was kicked from the server.
I know, it's awesome.
Like, I'm not a Frozen fan by any stretch of the imagination. But the way they're incorporating it, I'm okay with. What do you think? You're a Kingdom Hearts fan as well.
Again, same as you. I'm not the biggest fan of Frozen. I still kind of am. Never mind. I'm like, but I'm glad they're bringing in another world. That's more I'm excited about.
Yeah, I really wanted to see more of, like, Big Hero 6, though.
I know.
Like,
That's the one I was more excited about, but they didn't say anything. Is it gonna happen or not?
Well, was it announced or?
It was announced, but
well, then you should be glad that they're not spoiling everything before you play the game. Like, honestly,
I waited 12 years.
I want to see Baymax.
when you follow all the trailers and shit like this closely, you will have seen 90% of the game before you even play it.
I'm okay with that, actually.
I'm not. That shit fucking ruined so many games for me. That's why I watched the reveal trailer and then no more trailers after that.
I had to, and this derailing from E3, but by the time they announced like the 5th or 6th trailer for like Star Wars: The Last Jedi, I installed a fucking extension on my browser that just blocked everything Star Wars related.
Yeah.
Because by that point it was just absurd.
Agreed.
You can only tease so much before you literally reveal everything. They ruined like Batman vs Superman that way. They ruined so much. So I can see your point with like games as well.
Well, especially Kingdom Hearts, which, let's be honest, the draw to that is the story. Like,
Okay.
Those games don't have the best gameplay in my opinion, and you can get triggered on me if you want. I'm not into like RPG style stuff too much, but like the story is really where it's at in Kingdom Hearts, and you should see. So like, I would hate to spoil it for myself personally.
I mean, you're not wrong gameplay wise. It's just your traditional RPG, and that's okay with me. I'm an RPG nerd. But,
Well, yeah, but like the worlds are what makes it.
the
So
worlds
the
are
world-
what
the
makes
world-
the game. I will agree with you there.
So I guess honestly I like Big Hero 6 world. That sounds fucking awesome, and I would want that to be a complete surprise.
Yeah, I'm just the one thing I love about the trailers that they do is just how the characters interact. I'm a big sucker for that, like Thurman. Like, he was going nuts over the character interactions in Blaze Blue. Like, seeing, Elsa and Olaf interact with, everybody. It felt natural, and that's what really makes Kingdom Hearts a magical series. So, I would love to see how, like, Baymax would be incorporated into it. From what I've read, because people were asked, like, are you still doing, the Big Hero 6 world? And they're like, yes, we are, but there's not a whole lot we want to show off because it's more conceptual at this point.
So yes, chill. You don't need to see everything about the game before it comes out.
Well, it's better than fucking Frozen, okay?
They showed Frozen because they didn't want to spoil anything because they
because no one cares about Frozen, so they can use that.
Exactly.
And nobody really wanted to see, Port Royale come back either. It's better than Atlantica, though. I'll give them that.
By the way, if you're curious what I've been doing, I'm very triggered currently because I can't find a copy of my Ahego David picture. I wanted to make something.
Can you guys hear me?
Yes, now we can.
Okay. All right.
Dave, can you send me a picture of your Ahego face? I wanted to make a.
Oh, okay.
It'll be good for the stream.
Will it, though?
Yes.
I'm concerned. It's not like it wasn't my profile picture for the longest time.
Yeah, it's a talent. It's a goddamn talent, and the world needs to
There,
know.
it's in your Facebook DMs, damn it.
Now continue talking about Microsoft.
Okay. Does anybody really give a fuck about Sea of Thieves at this point?
No.
Achievement Hunter does.
No.
Like, I'll give
Skull
the
and
game,
Bones will be better.
I'll give them one thing
Extra creepy.
that they
It's
created.
it's
with
not
that
even a finished game, so it's not really relevant at this point.
Exactly. But what I will give them credit for, and what really, like you were saying, Red, Achievement Hunter does really well with it. That's because it's great for role playing.
It's good for content.
Yep.
I think it serves its role in that regard.
But aside from that, nobody gives a shit that they announced 2 more expansions, so we can move right past that. Nier Automata getting ported. It's been rumored. I didn't want to believe it because I was like, please let Sony keep one fucking exclusive.
I mean, it was on PC too, but
Seems like
have
most
Microsoft
nobody-
IPs like that.
Am I
Counts
correct in
PC,
saying that?
okay?
Yeah.
Am I correct in saying that exclusives are almost not even a thing anymore? And even if they are, they're exclusive for like a year and not forever.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I remember a time in gaming.
Unless you're Nintendo
Yeah.
with Pokemon. About it.
But I mean, even that's not really exclusive anymore because of Pokemon Go.
Yeah.
No, but the good ones are exclusive.
Like the good ones, like like Pokemon Sapphire, Ruby, all those.
Actual Pokemon games.
But I mean, I remember a time in gaming where exclusive actually meant something. Now
Yeah.
it's like, what's exclusive? But like, I'm just kind of shocked that they announced that at E3. That's like something that was like, okay, this didn't need to be on stage, but it might have sold a couple more Xboxes, I guess. People love 2
What,
booty.
Nier? Absolutely. Dude, I haven't played that game. I want to play that game, but like all of my friends are goddamn obsessed with it. Andrew and Andy fucking love it.
It's a fantastic game. You
It's
should
a
get
solid
off-
seller.
You should get off your ass and play more games, Red.
I don't.
I think
I want to.
I think
You should get
honestly
off your ass and
Microsoft
get a
has
job
picked
so
up
we can
their
live together
game
and
and
make
finally decided.
Red. Let's save drama for another time. But
Is that
what really actually surprised me even more was Life is Strange getting a fucking spinoff. Like, that's like
A free spinoff.
exactly like, and according to the developer interview during the, if you want to call it a Square Enix briefing, it's supposed to tie into Life is Strange 2 somehow. So I don't know how to feel about this because I'm really, really attached to like Max and Chloe, but a new character, might be something that's needed for the franchise. But making an expanded universe, like teasing an expanded universe with it, like, just kind of weird. You need to flesh out your universe before you expand it.
Mm.
It's not like one of those things that, like, here's point A, here's point B. You go from school, you go to, the lighthouse. That's pretty much all of it. You go to these little tiny places in town, but you spend all of like 30 minutes in each of them. So it's with expanding it with like this Captain Spirit, I don't know how to feel about that without, more info. Guess we'll get it the 26th because they're not going to do anything but get it out
Didn't
for free.
Telltale do the same thing though with like The Walking Dead?
But I mean, throughout the, I think 4 now with, the Walking Dead series, counting the final season that's coming out, like, you flesh out that universe throughout that. Plus, you have years and years of lore to build off of from the comics as well. Because they actually said during the PC gaming show, like, this takes place after the time skip in the comics themselves. So they're kind of tying it into the comics now. I haven't played all the Walking Dead Telltale games. I know I'm a heathen, sue me. I kind of lost all faith. I lost all faith in Telltale after Batman Season 2.
Which I played with you.
Oh, God. Harley Quinn made me want to kill myself.
She was really annoying. It was not good, Harley Quinn.
That's
Suicide Squad Harley Quinn was better.
that's fucking saying something, but it's true. Hashtag not my Harley Quinn. But, okay, just moving on from Captain Spirit, because there's not a whole lot to talk about there. There's more we can use in, like, the Square Enix. But what what struck me as odd, and Justin and Noble, you both were watching this live, I believe. Since when was studio acquisition a selling point? Like they acquired 4 studios and they made that a selling point during the press conference.
So it was kind of like more.
You got to understand where those studios are from and what those studios have made.
I get that Ninja Theory made
And
Hellblade's
The
Cinema
thing is
Sacrifice.
they brought them under the Microsoft Studio banner, meaning they're going to be making Microsoft exclusives.
Yeah, I mean, I get that.
That's the thing.
I get that, like, but you know, we had nothing from the State of Decay studio but Microsoft exclusives, to my knowledge. I mean, Ninja Theory, has been flip-floppy, and Playground Games has only done Microsoft exclusives, so I mean, that's really not a selling point for 2 of the 4 that they acquired. But I mean, Ninja Theory, yeah, I would tease like, yeah, they're working for us now. They're not going to be doing.
But you got to understand, now they're going to have the actual funding to do something grand.
Was Senua Sacrifice not grand? Like that's what confused me. I mean, it was marketed as a AA title, but it felt like a AAA title.
Now they'll be able to polish and refine and make it even better. Well, a different game, but even better.
Time will tell if this, was necessary. But We Happy Few getting a street date, finally. That's
what is it?
We Happy Few has a street date now for August 28th. That one, I don't know about you, but I've been wanting to play this for a long time now.
Is that the one? Yeah, I know. I'm confused because I've seen people play that before. Were those all betas?
Yeah, they were like game previews and stuff like that.
Oh my god, that took way too long to come out.
Well, given Gearbox's history, I'm kind of glad that they took some time.
Ha!
We definitely don't want this to be another Borderlands pre-sequel where you glitch into a wall and get stuck there as a save place.
When I saw that announcement, I literally thought it was a port because I thought it was already out.
No, I have the game preview on Steam.
I've watched people play it and shit.
Yeah, it's phenomenal. I love the whole atmosphere this game's created. So seeing it finished and getting a full release, I'll probably pick it up again on Xbox or PlayStation. I don't know which yet, because PC controls for it aren't the greatest.
Mm-hmm.
And there's no native controller support for some fucking reason. So that's the thing. But yeah, that one really struck me as one of those wasn't it already? Oh wait, that was a game preview, because it was just like PUBG. For me it was like, okay, yeah, I'll buy it. I'll forget that I bought like a pre-release copy of a fucking game. Like, you own this product. I'm like, oh, right, I did buy a beta, basically.
Yeah, welcome to modern gaming.
We're the quality assurance testers at this point as gamers.
It's they've literally skipped the middleman. They don't have to worry about that stuff anymore because people will buy the promise of a game.
Justin, what's the name of that space game that is still a Kickstarter that's selling like $100 plots of land?
Oh, I know what you're talking about, but I can't think of it right now. But I know what you're talking about. It's been out. It's been in like alpha for so long, many of years, and it's accumulated over millions of dollars.
Yeah.
Here you go, David. If you want something as a backdrop for this video,
what game is that? It's kind of funny because my dad plays that game, and he's like, "This game hasn't even got out yet."
Oh god, I'm terrified by what you've done. Where did you send it? Oh god.
Hold on, it's sending.
Oh, this is gonna be terrifying.
E3 hype.
Oh, it's Star Citizen.
Yeah.
That's the one.
Oh god. Red, I'm officially going to kill you. That's fucking funny.
Going to
I'm not
end
gonna
you.
lie.
All right, put it up. Dude, he's
Okay,
talented,
so
isn't
to
he?
anybody that watches this archive, I officially apologize, but this is funny.
I gotta see this.
Oh god damn it.
I'll put it in the Facebook group so you can see it without having to go to the stream, Justin.
Okay. Yeah, just put it in the group.
Oh, I hate you so much right now.
E3 hype.
Originally, I was gonna put Microsoft hype, but we're already like halfway through Microsoft, so I wanted it to last through the whole video.
Alright, so here's a really hype one for any JRPG fan. Tales of Vesperia getting a complete remaster. I know, Justin, you're not an anime game fan.
I'm trying really hard, okay?
You fucking heathen.
So, what's your thoughts on this?
I was actually kind of surprised when they announced that. When I started hearing the opening music, I'm like, wait, what? What's going on? But no, I'm excited they're actually gonna remaster it.
No, I just want the entire...
Is it needed though?
No, not really. But I mean, it's welcome, you know. It's definitely welcome. Now I just want an entire like Tales series box set, so I can get rid of my old copies. Because my poor PS3 is finally dying.
Aw.
It's dying?
Rest in
Yeah,
peace.
It's getting to the point where the disk drive is just like picking and choosing what it wants to read.
You can
Aw.
just-
You should give it a Viking funeral.
I've got a better version of that.
That's a fancy way of saying
Yes.
set it
Shotgun.
on fire.
Viking funeral.
Set it on fire. Can we just do a video where we burn your PS3? And then do like a creepy Sony ritual cult around it?
169 subscribers, we will.
that's the milestones we celebrate. It's the 69.
Every
I'll show
69.
you what they're
I'm
referencing
200.
later.
Okay.
No. At 169, I rub 2 jars of peanut butter.
No, god damn it. That peanut butter jar had a family, damn it.
Now it's all over you.
Oh my god. So, okay, so the other two things that confused me about the Xbox stream as we continue along with this, you know, why is Game Pass a selling point still, and did we need a 3.5-minute sizzle reel of every ID at Xbox game?
No. No.
I mean, I get that they're trying to market Game Pass because it's not getting what they want, and it's a great deal. This is not a sponsored content, by the way. But I mean,
Imagine that.
it's a great service. It's definitely better than PlayStation Now,
Yeah.
but
With the quiz and stuff and
you don't need to put that in, you know, a press conference. I don't think. Unless you're presenting it to the board of administrators, like, here's our sales numbers, and this is where we want them to be.
pretty
But
much.
reverse that, I had to get in frame for a second. You know, it's great, but it baffles me that needs to be a thing. But I know one thing that you're probably looking forward to, Justin, as a shooter fan, is Metro Exodus.
Yeah.
Any
I did
thoughts
see
on?
it. It looked pretty good.
Any thoughts on like the season integration here?
I don't know how to feel about it.
It's definitely a departure from the first 2 games, but again, I also don't know how to feel about it because it's going to make, you know, the survival aspect of it a lot more difficult.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's going to potentially cause more development issues. I don't trust it actually coming out on the 22nd of February.
22nd of February.
Like, because there's like, what, 30 games coming out that day?
Yeah, it's like a shit ton coming out. Metro is one of those game titles that it's pretty solid. But it's not like, I'd say, top tier. But it's
No.
a good idea that they're making like another Metro game.
Now, I know from my perspective here, at least, Crackdown 3, I'm not disappointed by the amount of time it's taken at all. I know a lot of people are like, yeah, we'll get it during the next generation of consoles.
Yeah.
From an IT perspective, what they're doing is fucking phenomenal. You know,
Yeah.
all based on fucking cloud computing and all that. Like,
it's a lot of effort. You
exactly,
have to,
like,
praise that.
So I got to give mad props to Microsoft for trying to do this. I can see a bit of, those that are uninformed on how much work goes into that kind of shit being, like, what's taking so long? It's just, ones and zeros. It's a lot of fucking work.
It's a lot of stuff to go in it.
Exactly.
Okay, guys, I'm going to head out so I can head to work. You guys, continue on. Luckily, that's why we did Nintendo first. But thanks for having me, David.
Alrighty.
I don't know why I'm saying that like I'm like a guest to this channel.
You're fired, by the way.
No,
You're fired.
what would you do? Help me.
You're fired for the Ahego face.
Oh. A lot of other companies that would get me hired.
I wonder what.
Me too. I was violated midstream.
That's the secret. Next interview you have, David, just pull off that Ahego face. They'll immediately hire you.
This is my iconic selling point right here.
Oh my god.
Get the mural of it.
There is absolutely no chance if and when we monetize that this stream will ever get monetized.
One other thing that I just realized as well, in the apartment, because Justin just fucking made me think of this. That's our apartment. We can do whatever we want. I want to we should frame the Ahego face. So
No.
Like right on his like door of his bedroom.
It'll be an entry.
That'll be a green screen. That won't be framed. That'll be a green screen. I'll just green screen that in.
No.
There you go.
I want like a bunch of like really like it's just a bunch of like really sophisticated looking art, and then just like in the middle just your Ahego face. Wow.
No, you just superimpose it on a bunch of different abstract art creations.
Oh my god! Yeah. So like the fucking the artwork where it's like God reaching to Adam or whatever, put his face on Adam.
God. I mean, I do kind of have a God complex. Just Photoshop me onto God.
Oh, I was gonna say put you on Adam, and then God's like, nah, just kidding. I don't want that.
You gotta ruin my goddamn artistic vision, damn it.
All right, man. I'll talk to you guys later. And before I go, #Jump Force.
Oh god.
Come on. Oh god, me.
Unless I get an axe throwing Emma, I don't give a shit about Jump Force.
You're wrong. That's bullshit. You told me you were gonna buy it.
Of course I'm gonna fucking buy it, but I don't give a shit about it. It's content.
You really don't give a shit about it? Like, for real?
I want Emma from Promised Neverland. I just want...
How? But how would she be in it? She'd have to be like...
#kids with guns. Fuck it.
No. Is that really the only thing that would make you care? Like, really?
No. Of course not. It looks great, but... they hadn't... Like you said, they had an orgy with the particle effects.
Yeah. I love fucking orgies. Alright, whatever, man. But, if you don't want to... You know what? If you actually don't want to buy it, I'll buy the game and just console.
I definitely cannot afford to buy everything day one anymore.
No, I'll buy Jump. I will absolutely buy
those limited editions.
I don't want there to be
if there's a limited edition, then I'll buy day one.
Because that's one of the few things that I will want to play, and then I don't want there to be a situation where like it comes out and you're like, no, I'm playing it first. I'll be like, fuck you, I bought it. Get out of here.
If they have figures with it, I will buy it, as proven by me pre-ordering Kingdom Hearts 3.
Bitch, if there was a Funko Pop in it, you would.
I mean, opens closet.
We got thousands in here.
What are you buying?
Get your Deadpool Bob Ross Funko Pop yet?
No, it's on back order.
Aww.
They sold out within like minutes, so I'm like, fuck. I mean, it's fucking
streamers.
Deadpool.
Alright, I'll talk to you guys later.
Talk to you later, man. Alright, so moving right along. Who else thought when they showed the skateboarding game that was actually skate?
Guilty.
just the vibe I got from it, the constant following, all that. I'm like, is it Skate 4? Is it really Skate 4? Is it? No, it's just such a fuck it. I don't care. If it's not marketed as Skate, I don't give a shit. But it does look good, super realistic, but meh. But yeah, like Greg was saying, Jump Force was teased, particle effect orgies. I'll put the card back up here once the archive goes live. But I as a fighting game fan, I'm a bit concerned here with this. Like I addressed, like having that many different characters from different franchises, it's definitely going to be a balancing thing that needs a lot of work. Because you got Aizen potentially showing up because it's Shonen Jump, who is like somewhat of a spiritual successor to J-Stars. It's definitely going to be like Aizen was super OP in that game, and they never did anything about balancing whatsoever. So that's where a lot of my concern comes from here. So I'm like, do I really want to buy this day one and then it not be, evenly balanced, or at least somewhat evenly balanced? I know there's never, perfect balance in a fighting game. I'm not stupid, but
yeah,
definitely going to be weird. 50 years of Shonen Jump characters in one game. I don't think my heart can handle that. This would be where Thurman would, if he was in the fucking stream, come in like, nah, you're ain't about nothing. They're going to do great. They're going to do great.
I mean, Jump Force looks really good. Like, a person that doesn't really care for, like, anime stuff, I'd actually buy this. Like, I'm legit saying this. So, it looks really good. They do have, a massive roster, which could be a double-edged sword. It could be good or it could be bad for some people based on perspective. Like you said, it could be like a balancing issue, or it could be like, hey, I don't want to play this character anymore. Let me switch to this one.
Yeah, but just to play devil's advocate here, the developers did say they're working super hard to have a even balanced roster throughout the 50 years of Shonen Jump, which I say I'm not seeing it, because in the Shonen Jump universe, there are characters that blow up planets. There are characters that can't even scratch a building. How are you going to balance shit like that?
It's going to be some tough work, I know that.
But the biggest announcement out of the Microsoft conference, the biggest one out of the Microsoft conference, and no, Noble, I'm not talking about fucking Cuphead expansion. I'm talking about Devil May Cry 5. The minute I saw that, I'm like, is that Dante with the emo hair? Is this DMC2? Wait.
Is this a remake?
Is this another fucking remake? That was another thought that crossed my head. And then I saw, the motorcycle. I'm like, no, that's Dante. And then you see the articles were like, no, Dante's got a robot arm. I'm like, it's fucking Nero.
Thank you.
You have one job. Crap. You are definitely fired, Ryder. Get the fuck out of here. So, you were super hyped about this.
Yes. I was blowing your chat up a little bit.
Which I'm completely okay with. Like, I don't mute DMs. I do mute group chats.
That's exceptional. Well, yeah.
So, the only way to actually reach me in a group chat is to @ me.
We do that a lot. A lot.
Or
David, for something stupid, though.
If I send in something to trigger Thurman and then Kate sees that and I'm like, oh my god, I'm so sorry. Fuda Samus will forever go down in history as one of the most embarrassing moments in that group chat.
Oh.
But well worth the $20 commission just to trigger Thurman. But that was one thing that I'm like, I'm glad they've brought Devil May Cry back, and it's looking like it's actually going to be faithful and not retcon years and years of lore midway through the fucking game. I've played DMC. I didn't mind DMC, but I did mind how they fucked with the lore. But seeing Devil May Cry 5, that was great. Cuphead getting an expansion within 24 hours. Lady Chalice was looted on Rule 34. Thanks, Internet. I never thought that a cup...
They're just doing it on purpose now, David. They're just
Exactly.
like, something so innocent. I don't know, let's just put on Rule 34
let's make
or
a
something.
chalice, you know, have gigantic jugs and a big ass, and put it all over. Like, thanks, Internet. But I mean, at this point, you know, since Rule 34's inception, it's like one of those things that it's like, okay, if it exists, it has to be looted, no matter what. Like, I've been looted in the live stream. But, okay, so, Just Cause 4 we'll talk more about during Square's conference, because a lot of these, you know, have been talked about and announced, and more shit's been, you know, dug into during different conferences. Battletoads, really? I'm glad they're doing something with the franchise.
Yeah, I could say that.
I mean,
It's an old one, but
I'm actually kind of excited they're bringing it back.
But, like, is Rare handling it? They didn't say who's handling it.
Well, to be fair, they teased it very, very briefly with no gameplay footage, no nothing.
Oh, it's just like,
Which means they have
it was like, what,
gotten the right
30-second
to do it.
teaser? Like, if Rare's not handling this game, I have no interest in it, because it's their property.
yeah.
And if anybody else handling the characters, I mean, look at Rash and Killer Instinct, for example. It didn't feel natural, really. At least to me, as a Battletoads, you know, somebody that grew up, you know, trying to beat the game. I have a lot of memories of playing games as a kid and never beating them.
Those water levels, though, huh?
or the classic one, the original Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles game.
Oh. A lot of glitches and a lot of exploits, but in the end, you're gonna lose anyways. It's too
Exactly,
different.
like, you know, you pick anybody but Leo and Donnie, you're fucked. You got a 2-inch, you know, hit range with anybody else.
Your jump isn't like a jump, so like when you do like long distance jumps, you usually fall off short and just die. It's just
Yep.
like,
Good
oh,
luck.
well, that's nice.
Good luck beating the game. There are people that have beaten it, I hear. I don't believe them. But yeah, like, that was one that kind of blew me away. Tunic, that little indie game, looks kind of adorable, and all sorts of, you know, like, I can see this being, you know, like a little bit of a Zelda-esque game, but there wasn't a whole lot shown there. That was the one downside to Microsoft's conferences. Announcing 50 titles didn't give them a lot of time. Dying Light 2, though. Anybody hyped about Dying Light 2?
I played the original one. I definitely think it was a good title. It just didn't really stick with me. But yeah, I would say it was a pretty good title. So I was pretty excited to see Dying Light 2 because of the reason that they're actually keeping that franchise specifically alive.
You know, I was debating which we'd see first here at this point. Because, you know, Dead Island 2 has been in development hell for, what, 5-6 years now?
Yeah.
I was
about
debating,
so.
you know, which would we see today? Dying Light 2 or fucking Dead Island 2?
It's either or. They're both
You know,
zombie
we need
games,
parkour and zombies. So I was kind of surprised that they're, you know, keeping a lot of the parkour feeling more natural in this one. It's not as clunky looking. You know, obviously it's the advancement in the tech, but
Yeah.
and I can't wait to play this on the Xbox One X, which I'm going to need to save up for.
The One X. Ooh.
But by the time I buy a One X, the Xbox 2 will probably be out.
Probably.
Because we've already had, you know, during Bethesda's, you know, conference, we've already kind of had new console generations teased.
Mm-hmm.
But we'll get to that later.
Next gen
Desert
console,
Online.
Xbox X2, XXX.
Xbox -1.
With
The
Microsoft,
Xbox
who knows what the
XXX.
fuck they're going to name it.
They're gonna
We
call it
went
the
from-
Xbox.
We went from Xbox to Xbox 360 to the Xbox One, and then the Xbox One S and the Xbox One X.
It was
A lot of
actually the
confused parents
Scorpio
there.
at one point.
Yeah.
It
I
was
pity
like,
you.
what?
Working there. Oh my god.
Hey, my son has an Xbox. All right, what kind of Xbox? I don't know. Great. Come over here, please.
So do the games, come in the small cases, the medium cases? Do they have this logo or this logo?
I just bring
Was
home
this
the
Xbox
case
a type of
and
piece
just,
of
like,
shit?
Which one does he have? Point it out. And if that doesn't work, well,
If that
go
doesn't,
by ear.
yeah, I'm kidding. So the other really big selling point for me from this conference, and this doesn't really apply to a lot of people, is the fact that they're trying console quality streaming on any device.
Mm-hmm.
I'm hoping that this, is a good idea and it's not going to fuck up like PlayStation Now.
Yeah. I have a question, David, for
Yep.
you. Have you played Black Ops 2, right?
Yep.
Do you know the theater mode in that, where each match was recorded?
Mm-hmm.
Why don't they bring that in every single game anymore?
That's a great question, and I have
Because
no
it's
answer for
really
that.
convenient. It was the most convenient thing I could possibly think of,
Especially
aside from the Elgato.
Exactly. Like, especially nowadays where, people can just, export that into, like, Share Factory and
Yep.
just fucking... It would be great, you being a PlayStation gamer, more for, shooters and shit.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that would be great, especially from a content creator's perspective, but
Yes.
I don't know if, Activision was like, it wasn't used enough, so fuck it.
I mean, actually, Counter-Strike Global Offensive has that feature too. Not with deathmatch, but with competitive. You can go through your matches and stuff. So, I mean, I kind of struggle. Like, if I'm playing like Black Ops 3, for example, right now, and I get like a crazy kill cam or something, I usually don't record it. So that's why I think they should, at least have some sort of like recording, so like you can review your matches and stuff.
Yeah, and what really, made it really great was being able to snap from player to player to player to see kind
Oh
of
yeah.
where you
And you
fucked
can
up.
actually determine if that person was cheating, hacking, or actually, a good
Exactly.
player.
And see, I don't want to say it directly, but I kind of think that's why they took it out. Because
Yeah.
people would, just spam their DMs like, hey, I caught a cheater. Hey, I caught a cheater.
I mean, that's why they have the Overwatch system for CSGO.
Exactly. Like, well, fuck. This was a great idea, but it's kind of fucking with, our ability to do anything. So
Yep.
let's remove it. But that there could be a great thing to put in, like, any shooter, really. But I can see that being the main reason it was, kind of taken out.
Mm-hmm.
Because, people would go back and review, like, oh, wait, this person's just griefing. This person's, obviously just complaining about, not
Yeah.
being skilled. So, we're not going to do anything about it. So, that's just the theory, but who knows. Cyberpunk 2077, closing the show.
Aesthetically pleasing. It's really good. And they did confirm it was coming on all consoles, so I mean,
Exactly.
more
This
fun
game's
for
been in-
everyone.
This game's been in development, what? Like, 10 years, it seems
Oh
like?
my god, yeah. I bet everyone was shitting their pants when they seen the release date, and they're like, "Oh, okay, it's gonna go down."
Right?
It was like 2070.
Well, I mean, that's just title-wise, but, like,
Yeah.
it's... Like, I don't know what it is about anything, that's kind of punkish, but every group I've seen, is complaining, like, it's misogynistic. I'm like, what? Because it's got the term punk in it? What was shown in the trailer? It was, 45 seconds worth of footage?
Yeah, about so.
It's like anything for people to complain, they'll complain about. Like, from Sony's conference, Ellie kissing, that other character. Did you not play Left Behind? Did you not read the fucking comics? It comes as no surprise to somebody that's played those parts of the game that she's a lesbian. Okay?
Oh man,
Twitch
the
chat,
YouTube
I
comments.
wish I would have, recorded the Twitch chat. It was...
That's why I screenshot this stuff on YouTube.
like you were fast enough to like record, you know, the comments. I'm like,
Oh
stay
yeah.
classy, YouTube. Stay classy.
Stay classy, YouTube. I'm like, oh my god.
The SJW agenda strikes again. We got lesbians in our games. I'm like, fucking Christ, people. I don't give a shit. If it can tell a great story, you go full gay.
He's like, go full gay if it's a good story. All right.
I'm
Sold.
completely desensitized.
I mean, it sold
to
like
anything
10 million copies, right? The first Last of Us?
Yeah, it was really a relatively great success for a new IP from Naughty Dog. So I'm like, it's a fucking great game. Like, if you haven't played it, play it. And then play Left Behind and you'll understand the fucking story. Fucking Christ. But, like, one of my friends shared, like, from their group, like, this is what makes gamers look toxic, you know? Them complaining about Cyberpunk and complaining about Last of Us 2. Like, like, I can see a lot of that. But have you ever been in the Overwatch community?
Oh. No, boy, no.
No. That goes to the whole nother level. And Justin, you've probably experienced it more than me because you know, play Overwatch more than me anymore. Or
Yeah,
did.
I used to. I mean, I jump in like ever so often, but yeah, you're pretty much. It's even worse on PC.
Oh, God. PC got really, really bad.
Yeah, because they had the typing in it, right? You could type to people and stuff. It's just like, oh god. Even Rainbow Six on PC.
Give you three words. What word gets? Give you three guesses. What word gets thrown around? Like, you know, nothing. But yeah,
I already know.
You already know, just judging by my reluctance to say it. Playing any game on PC with text chat is just ungodly toxic, sadly.
Don't play Gmod, please.
God.
Do yourself a favor. Do not play Gmod properly.
I've seen it. I've seen the toxicity that comes out of Gmod.
I still don't understand why Steam is so like just lenient on letting people change their name so often. And I think that's like a problem because of how people that hack, they can change their name and their identities. I'm just like, this is why Steam isn't that good.
I mean,
it's definitely a good seller. It sells a lot of games perfectly fine. They have the sales ever so often. It's great.
It's a great platform.
Oh, yeah.
I've changed my name once on Steam, and that was just to, you know, kind of unify all my gamer tags under the, like, Azazel.
Oh, yeah.
I'm like, fuck it. I've never changed it before. I'd really, really love to be able to change my PSN nickname sometime in the next 25 years.
I'm kind of glad I didn't mess that up and, like, you know, because
you don't have
I feel
a
bad
cringy
for the
one
people
like
that
mine.
did.
Mine's Yo666DB.
Yeah. It's so stupid. It's like, yo, 666 DB.
Like, I was fully shit-faced. I was like, what?
Wait, really?
What will be the most cringeworthy thing that random people won't want to add me? It works really well for when you were like 18. And now I'm just like, I hate myself.
You're like,
but I have so much content on this account, I don't want to lose.
I mean, a lot of people complain about it. I don't understand why they won't, like, you know, appeal to that, like, able to change your name and stuff.
Exactly. Like, I will pay $10 like I pay on, you know,
Microsoft.
Xbox. You know, like, I will pay $10 to change my name. I would pay $100 at this point to change my fucking name on there.
Oh my god. I mean, even $10 to me for changing a name seemed a little kind of crazy, honestly.
I remember when it was free, don't you?
Wait.
But yeah, Bethesda.
Can we just address the opening?
Yeah.
Please, can we just address the opening?
Oh god, I was gonna start there. Oh my god, Andrew.
I actually didn't see the opening, so
you missed nothing but wanting to rip your eyeballs out.
What happened?
Andrew WK opened it.
Oh.
Mr. Party Hard himself.
he came out and tried to hype out the crowd, and everyone's looking around like, the hell? And of course he plays Get Ready to Die. Terribly.
Let's go, guys. Got games.
Get ready to die while I'm off key on every level. And I'm no, grand musician, but I could even tell, like, you should fire the sound check guy right off the bat. And never invite Andrew WK back to do anything again.
Ooh.
He died off career-wise around the time CN Real was a thing, and he made Destroy, Bill, Destroy.
Mm-hmm.
It's pretty bad when I recognize him more from his musical career.
I mean, Beth did redeem themselves with a couple of titles, so I mean.
Oh, yeah.
They did.
I love how they teased the collector's edition inside of the Rage, teaser.
Mm.
It's like, hey, here you go. Here's this collector's edition on the little TV console. I'm like,
fuck is that?
great Easter egg. And Rage 1 was a game full of Easter eggs, and what kind of led us to, getting Wolfenstein back, getting, Doom back, and those little side levels. So, I mean, I get what they were getting at there, but still. At least it's cheaper than the fucking Kingdom Hearts edition. I will never, ever, ever...
Is that the one with the keychains and stuff?
No, the one I'm talking about, I've dubbed on my timeline the Fuck My Wallet edition. It's $230 for 3 Figmas.
We still talking about Andrew WK?
Yes.
Hold on, I just wanted to bring up something because I was watching the stream.
Okay.
Andrew, the best thing about Andrew WK's work, the best thing he's contributed to society is being the intro to Hellsing Bridge.
Thank you. You're right.
He's... Fuck, I forgot he was that.
Yeah.
Oh, God. That's how little I give a shit about him.
I literally hear that song and I think of Hellsing Bridge, which is the best bridge.
Yes.
You get 1 episode a year, but it's fucking glorious.
Yeah, it's because it's quality.
Alexander Anderson.
Oh
The
my
fucking
God.
Hamilton parody was my ringtone on my phone for the longest time.
Walking a lot harder.
Now, what we need is Chris to get in this call so he can actually recite it word for word.
Oh, Chris. No, he said he's confirmed for next
week, right?
Yeah.
Next week's podcast, he's confirmed.
But yeah,
So
I'm gonna
he
head off.
can't-
Next week's
Need to
podcast
pop
actually
in for
quite
that
a bit of
Andrew
people.
WK.
So, let me just bring this here. Chris is back. There's a video that's private on the channel that will be teasing the return of Chris. And it's pretty deep. I'm glad he kind of got into some of those topics. I'll link it here. But yeah, so that would be interesting to have him back on the podcast.
By the way, he's one of our original crew members. So.
Yeah, he's the one that was always
Pretty
redded
big.
out with a big fat X through it and every thumbnail passed like 15.
Yep.
Poor bastard just fucked off and died.
That was
Yeah.
the joke for the longest time.
It
Where's
was.
Chris? I don't know. It just went off the map, I guess.
You
And
know,
finally, he's back.
like, if ever there's somebody that's had the shittiest year, it was him.
Mm-hmm.
So that's nice that we'll have him back. But with back to Bethesda, like the fact that they're still talking about Elder Scrolls Online like it's worth something is beyond me.
It's not that bad, okay? It's
And It's
okay.
not bad except for retcons like everything.
Oh,
okay?
yeah.
You can't look. I love what Andrew actually said during our last podcast. You can't look at it from the perspective of an Elder Scrolls game. You have to look at it from the perspective of an MMO in the Elder Scrolls universe. Because if you look at it from an Elder Scrolls game, you're going to have a bad time.
Yeah.
Because I went into it because, it's an MMO with Elder Scrolls, marketed.
I mean, that's what I took it as, like, as an MMO, and I guess I came out okay.
I'm like, it's an Elder Scrolls game, but it's an MMO. Great. Wait. Where are we in the timeline? We're in a period where parts of this world should be fully fucking destroyed.
Yeah, it was a pretty like Skyrim wasn't even built yet. It was just like wooden bridges and shit. I'm just like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah, Skyrim, was, if I'm not mistaken on my lore, during this part of the timeline, should have been, fully constructed and flourishing a little bit,
Yeah.
And
So it was very weird. It was just like,
and the Somerset Isles being brought into it, like, shouldn't half of them be destroyed at this point in the timeline?
Actually, I gotta say the best one they had so far was Morrowind. That actually looked really good. I played it myself, and it was pretty fantastic.
Oh, I mean, you're talking about, this thing here. Yeah, like, I remember getting that because, like I was saying in the last podcast, like, a year ago to the date, it was a release for an expansion because of Facebook's fucking timeline memory shit. Like, oh, right. So we're doing yearly expansion packs. Like, wow, now.
Yeah.
Great.
I mean, if they came it out, I wouldn't say like monthly, but like in 3 months or 4 months, it would be a little bit better. But like, I understand that, they can't do so much because they have other projects going along, like Elder Scrolls 6. They got, this new IP, which was it Starlink? I believe it was
Starfield.
called?
Starlink is the Ubisoft one that's got Fox
Too many fucking
in it.
stars, bro. But yeah, they had the that one, which actually looked really interesting, Starfield.
I mean, it was 5 seconds of a teaser. We didn't get a whole hell of a lot.
But it was space. So it's not like post-war apocalypse. Wasn't
what really drove me here is like everybody was like, because of the rocket teaser for Rage, like, is Rage 2 Starfield, is it? I'm like, I fucking hope not.
Fucking hope not.
And
just
we're
give
confirmed
me
that they're two different
aliens
IPs.
and we're set.
So we get a Wolf Hunter and we get Murkmire DLC. That's great. But the best thing to come out of Bethesda's conference, aside from the announcement of Elder Scrolls 6, is fucking Doom.
Oh yeah.
Doom is my shit. No matter how many controllers went to the graveyard because of it.
Do you have a number for that or no?
Yeah, I do.
Which Doom was it, David?
Doom 2016 on the Ultimate Division.
Wait, you broke your controller over that game?
Like, the final boss on the hardest difficulty, okay?
Oh, okay.
I'm like, God damn it. God damn it. God damn it.
I don't...
God damn it.
It was the what was it called? The spider something? It was like the... I forgot the name of the actual boss. But the thing that confused me is that boss, that spider boss, I think it was in Doom 2 or the first one, it was actually like a mini boss. So I was confused, why would this be the final boss?
Yeah, it was definitely weird.
Like the mid boss in the 2016 version.
Yeah, it was...
what was it, the Gatekeeper or something like that? That felt more of an end game fight than the actual spider boss,
right?
In my opinion.
It
was still a good game. Really good game. It was just I don't know, I thought the boss placement was a little off.
Like, there's definitely some things that were weird with it. I'm hoping that number 2, and I know this is going to trigger pretty much everybody, that's, on that, farther left-leaning, like, oh, violence is ruining our kids. I just want it to be even bloodier.
Give me more blood. I don't think it can't get. I don't think it can't get any more bloodier at this point. It's like it's gonna be the same thing.
Like, dude, the teaser alone, we got like demon skulls. We got what looks like blood fields. I'm like, yes, this is.
Rip his skull out, like.
It's like crotch. There's that skull. Gone. Yes, this is all I want in a Doom game. Gratuitous violence. I mean, I was so hard up for a gory shooter after seeing that fucking conference. I'm like, I've beaten Doom to the point of like the only trophy I really need are the rune trials. What else do I have that's just mindless violence? I've got Bulletstorm.
Yeah. Speaking of Doom, did you ever play the 3rd installment?
Yes.
Did you like it?
It was different. It's just, It wasn't bad. It
was-
just felt different.
It's more of a survival than an action horror.
Yeah. And I'm just like, okay, I see what you were going for, but let's not
It
do
did
this
have
again.
a lot of jump scares, I gotta say that. Like, I played through that whole game and that...
I know, you did a Let's Play in it.
Yep, back in the days. On my good PC.
On your good PC. Not the one that you just broke playing Counter-Strike, but the
No,
other
it
one
was the actual gaming PC before my computer went into a boot loop and then just totally shit the bed and never worked again. I had 3 computers.
Yeah, you got the shitty, Latitude that you're using now to make
I got
videos.
fucking Latitude right now that doesn't even have a 3.0 jack. I
You
mean,
can't
a
even
USB
use your
port, sorry.
Elgato. What is life
Yeah.
for you?
It's pretty shitty.
But is it more shitty than literally wasting a good laptop that you just, decided to rage quit during, Counter-Strike and
I
break the
punched
screen?
the shit out of that laptop, David. I don't know. Like after I broke it, I felt so like satisfied. I was just like, at least I don't need to play Counter-Strike. And I didn't realize that I used it for recording, like a dumbass. I was like, oh fuck.
That'd be the equivalent of me just smashing my editing laptop, dude. I can't do that. Do I rage quit in PUBG? Yes, I do. Do I rage quit in Siege? Yes, I do. But I don't break my laptop.
I mean, I haven't broke my TV, so that's saying something. And I haven't broke a controller in a long time, so I'm pretty much good on the console end. But the PCs, graveyards, man.
Your fuck-ups are more expensive than mine.
Yeah. One was like the laptop I was previously using was like $400, $500. The gaming one was like almost $1,000, but that wasn't really rage. That just like that was
Yeah, that one just died. Okay,
yeah,
I'll forgive
so
that one.
That one I just need to get a recovery disc and it should be fine. I just really haven't got around it, which I should, because recovery discs are like $50 or something like that.
It's pretty bad, but I have what I call the fuck hole on my desk, where I just, instead of breaking shit anymore, I just, stab it.
Oh. Like that one time when we were on a live stream and you were stabbing your desk because of Thurman talking about Black Clover.
It's just like, shut up, shut up, shut up, shut up, shut up! That was a bad day, though. That was just hours of me coding before that. It's just like, I can't take too much of Thurman talking about Black Clover after coding and just, like, fucking up the coding and then just coming back and fucking up the coding, and I'm like, no. I need to stop this project. Oh, I gotta put up with Black Clover talk. Which is more painful to the ears and the eyes. Not knowing where I fucked up on code. Okay, I'll listen to Thurman, and then he just kept going on and on and on and on and on and on. I'm like,
you were pretty pissed because he was glorifying the shit out of it.
yeah.
He's like, oh my god, it's a masterpiece.
When he said
Thurman.
Black Clover and masterpiece in the same sentence, I'm like, no, your opinion is no longer valid in my world. But yeah, an Elder Scrolls mobile game.
I thought positively, I felt pretty good about it, but I didn't expect too much from it because it was a mobile game. I noticed the combat was locked on, therefore, locked on combat, you can only fight one enemy at a time before advancing to the next enemy, which I thought was kind of like, eh.
So, what I'm gathering from this, there was a PSP game that was set roughly after Oblivion that got canned because the PSP couldn't handle it.
Oh, no.
You see where I'm going with this, don't you?
They're bringing it back, but under the same principle, so it's like...
Because it was, if I
didn't think
remember
about
correctly,
that.
its code name was Blades. I can't remember exactly, but I'm pretty sure it's
Todd Howard, you scumbucket.
Like, now that we have, good phones, and I hate to give your iPhone credit, Kate, but it is, it can hold, better quality games than my Note 8 sometimes. But, like, it's, like, they were teasing for, like, the iPhone X or iPhone 10, whatever you want to call it. I'm like, oh, god damn it, I'm going to buy a fucking iPhone now.
Yeah, I'm not gonna buy like a iPhone 10 for Elder Scrolls game. Sorry,
I'm
happening.
not either. It says it'll run on my Note 8. I'm going to try it on my Note 8. They said PUBG wouldn't run on it. It runs on it perfectly fine. So,
yeah, I got a fucking SE and then PUBG runs on it. So
exactly.
And it looks good.
Doesn't look perfect, but it looks good.
It looks better than when I was trying to play it on my gaming PC. I can tell you that.
Well,
I'm not even joking.
It's a different company, I believe, is working on the mobile port.
Actually, yeah. The mobile version, Tencent is working on it. And by the way, Tencent is a very, 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 very big company in Asia.
Oh, I know.
They run a lot of companies, like you know a couple, and I know a couple. For example, like the Monster Hunter Online and Monster Hunter Frontier.
Yep.
And they're like the EA of Asia, by the way.
Yeah,
so
they're
that's why I was
really
kind of
heavy on
worried about that.
microtransactions too in some of their games.
Oh, like they had storage units you could buy through the in-game store, which I thought was awful, because the only way you could expand your storage is through the in-game like store. You know what I'm saying? So that's where the microtransactions came about.
So yeah, there's that. So I'm just theorizing that that's what they ported over. Like, it's not a completely built from the ground up game. They've just polished the assets they were using in that PSP game. I could be completely wrong. Could be a completely new story. But yeah. The other big ones. Quake. Did I hear it was going free to play, or was it just a trial?
Actually, I could look it up right now, but I would assume it's free to play because of how crappy it is. Let's see.
You and I both suffered through that.
It's kind of funny because I could play that on my gaming PC, but I couldn't play PUBG, which didn't look appealing. But Quake Champions did. It looked really good.
And it turned out to be dog shit.
Oh yeah, I don't know. It was just, I don't think it was half and half. It was the developers' issue, and it had to do with the actual service and stuff, and it didn't pan out great.
So, aside from that, we got an update for Prey. I
actually never touched Prey, so enlighten me on this one.
So there's a free update that's going to bring new shit in. They've been rumoring like DLC for a while, which is the Moon Crash, which is coming out shortly. I didn't catch the actual release date for that.
The Moon.
That's basically a mini campaign, and then we have a prop hunter mode coming in the summer.
How do you feel about that, David?
Like, does every game need a prop hunt mode now?
To defend it though, I haven't seen a lot of games with prop hunt, but there is one big one that did, and that was Call of Duty. And I was like, what the fuck is this shit? Like, I was playing Modern Warfare, and I was like a street lamp post, and I'm like, wait, what is this? I'm like, oh, this is prop hunt.
I was a fucking snowman during the winter one. It was like, oh, I'm definitely not conspicuous at all. This map isn't really winterized, but I'm a fucking snowman for some reason.
But the thing about prop hunt is a lot of companies, they like to change it around. Like, for example, the prop hunt in Call of Duty, you could technically shoot a player, like tase them, so they couldn't shoot you or something like that. So there's like unique ideas behind the prop hunt aspect, but altogether it's just prop hunt, you know, like it originated from, I believe, Gmod, I think it was where it started.
Gmod was the very first game that I can remember that had prop hunt mode anyway. But it kind of fits really well into the Prey universe. I don't know if you've played Prey.
I have not.
So the Typhons can basically take the shape of any, inanimate object and then attack you.
Oh, so that works pretty well.
Really well.
Okay.
I was kind of shocked that it wasn't a thing at launch, really.
At least it's not Call of Duty when you got soldiers. It's a fucking object.
My soldier became a snowman. My soldier became a street lamp. There was one enemy in one of my matches that was a fucking shoe.
Yeah.
I'm like, I know this map like the back of my hand. There's no fucking shoe here.
I just want to point out, I hate anyone who's like a small object, like a fucking cup in Gmod. Like, they'll be the smallest objects and hide in the like the biggest corners, and just like, I almost got you.
I'm a sucker for like prop hunt let's plays. Anytime like
they're really
Hunter,
fun. It's addicting.
Yeah, anytime like Achievement Hunter or Funhouse does like a prop hunt let's play, I'll fucking watch it just because of how random it is, and there's no real need for actually like play-by-play commentary. So just listening to them bullshit, it's super fun to listen to, and it's especially like when I'm editing. Like that was what I was listening to while I was editing the project that we're going to roll right into after this.
Yeah.
I was listening to their last prop hunt, and I'm like, well, that playlist is over. Oh, I'll listen to the Sea of Thieves let's play, and then that's what got me in the D&D mood. Like fucking Noble's little side project there, you know, that's what kind of reinvigorated me wanting to do that. So like, but the biggest ones that from this, aside from you know, the Doom and all that, we got the fact of Fallout 76 being more confirmed. 6 regions online.
I mean, they showed off gameplay, so it's just release date.
Yeah,
dates coming out.
11/14.
11/14.
Online and offline. I don't know what the offline is going to be, but they have said that there's going to be like a single player focus mode after launch. So that's good.
I pointed out it might be like Ark Survival.
Yeah, like, and then
like that perspective.
Yeah, and you can get into the beta. You can apply for that now if you want in there. But yeah, so anybody got any actual thoughts or complaints on Fallout 76?
I don't think I have complaint. Where's it taking place again? Georgia?
West Virginia.
West Virginia. And that's on the east, right?
Yeah. See, my one actual complaint, aside from it being online, and I know how trolling is going to go down, the minute they announced nukes.
Oh my god. Yeah. That was like, oh, okay, we got nukes now? Like, these aren't nukes we used to play around with in the other Fallout games. These are like bigger, so I'm like,
yeah, these are actual nuclear missiles. So
yeah,
my one complaint is, in canon, Vault 76 is in Virginia, not West Virginia. Because I actually went back to the wiki, and I'm like, okay, Vault 76 I know was appeared in one of the terminals, because this is a series I play every fucking year. So
well, I do like how they're going back to the East Coast, because we get to get. I mean, we only have one game on the East Coast, I believe.
3.
And that, yeah.
Right?
Oh, so there's 2, aside from the
Because 3, the whole Washington D.C. bullshit.
Yeah, that's what I get mixed up with the Washington stuff. But they also have Fallout 4, which takes place on the East Coast.
Yep.
So
we got 3
it's
there,
interesting
and
to
we've
see
got
them.
3 on the West now, if you count New Vegas.
Yeah, that's what got me. New Vegas and Washington.
Do they even count New Vegas though, in the lore?
New Vegas is actually New Vegas is a really popular Fallout game.
I know it's really popular. It's actually one of my favorites, but do they count it in canon lore because Obsidian made it?
No.
Okay, so 2 and 3.
Yeah. All right. 2 and 3.
I mean,
so it's kind of like even now, but they're going back to the East Coast.
Yeah.
The thing I like to mention about the East Coast is the East Brotherhood of Steel. They're actually like more Paragon than the Western front of the Brotherhood of Steel. So I'm hoping we get to see them again, and probably we will, because they're probably the most iconic characters in those games.
See, what really weirds me out, like, there's rumors that there are NPCs, there's rumors that there aren't NPCs. There's a lot of, is every NPC in my game technically going to be another player character? And they're just going to, have it that way. Like, if you go offline, you can, like, have, like, a dialogue tree and that. Like, you can ask basic info. There's a lot of, with this being an online game, how are they going to incorporate an actual story? Because
I don't know.
The core of Bethesda has never done an online game like this.
No, they haven't.
ESO is made by ZeniMax Online Studios, so... And let's face it, a core Bethesda game is full of bugs.
Yeah, I know that
Todd Howard became
experience.
self-aware during that.
Even playing Elder Scrolls Online, like there was parts and maps where I'd get like stuck. Like you'd be in between a hill, right? And your character would just get smushed right in and you can't jump out. I'm like, oh, I have to restart my character, but I gotta use gold, and I'm just like, what?
Yeah. This is why I quit playing ESO. Because I refuse to waste money on saving my character.
I refuse to refuse.
But so during this live stream that they did for Bethesda, they Todd Howard got a little bit nuts when he announced the collector's edition. And he's like, it fucking glows in the dark with the map.
Radiation.
Which was funny because Dash V made like all these little wonderful bingo cards, which some dumb people made into shot bingo.
Yeah, wasn't that a 3-shotter?
Yeah, that one was no shots, luckily.
Oh, good.
But by the end of Bethesda, I'm like,
I'm sorry, did I move?
by the end of Bethesda, I'm like, did I eat today? No, I didn't, and I'm completely wasted.
Man.
That's fantastic. I'm going to throw up tonight.
Fuck.
Oh, thanks, Todd Howard. I blame you for my alcoholism.
Just for that night, I guess. I mean.
Yeah, but like, aside from that, we have New Wolfenstein, which is really cool. I never finished the new Colossus. Has anybody finished it?
No, I haven't even finished it either. I'm actually pretty glad it's coming on the Nintendo, though.
But will it have uncapped frame rates?
Oh. I mean, Fortnite looks okay, but it doesn't look like PS4 or Xbox standard. I mean, the grass textures are just flat. So
I'm not
I don't know.
surprised. You know, like I said when we were talking about Nintendo, I'm glad they have a shooter on the Switch. I played one match.
That's what I was happy about.
I played one match on the Switch. I'm like, nope, going back to Xbox if I continue Fortnite.
I mean, you mentioned the controls were pretty shitty.
Yeah, they are. Oh, the Noble drop?
Yeah, Noble said something about like why he wasn't talking. It's in the voice chat text. I read that.
Okay. That's okay. But yeah, there's that we had like Starfield announced, like you were saying. We have Elder Scrolls 6, which is the big one. The big one,
which was only like 10 seconds.
Yeah, it was a 10-second teaser. Like no subtitle, no.
It was no like cinematic whatsoever, no gameplay. It was just
nothing.
like, here's the title though.
Elder
And
Scrolls
like,
6.
Everyone flipped out. I'm like, what?
It blew up live chat. Like, it's real. Elder Scrolls Online is not the permanent fixture.
Do you still have that meme with the two anime girls, and it shows like the Fallout girl getting kissed by the guy?
I'm sure it's buried on my phone somewhere.
But that's kind of ironic now because now Elder Scrolls 6 is coming out.
Just replace that with like a Fem Dovahkiin, and then you're good.
There you go. It's complete.
Have at it, Rule 34 fans. Christ. I'm sure it exists by now anyway. But yeah, so does anybody have any theories on where it's going to take place?
It looked very vibrant and summerish, so I don't know.
I've seen two, and one would be Vardenfell, and then the other, before they showed the footage, that was going to be Black Marsh. And I'm like, no, it's not going to be Black Marsh. Black Marsh is too dead.
Yeah.
It is deader than dead. So I'm leaning towards either, Vardenfell or potentially, visiting like a more elven area. But given the disconnection of all of the lore now since number 5, who knows where the elves are actually, hold up, or anybody that's loyal to the Empire. Because depending on what canonical ending there is, if the Stormcloaks win or if the Empire wins, we can go two very different directions with the story.
Yeah.
But I guess we can roll on to the shitpost show. Devolver Digital.
I actually didn't see that one, but I heard it was like batshit insane.
It always is.
I had no idea, to be honest. I was just like, I was looking at the report cards of many people like grading shit, and I'm like, Devolver was like insanity. I'm like, what?
Okay, I direct you back to 2017's in the E3 text, and I divert you back to my wonderful friends at Devolver's 2018. And just wait till the end of the show, where they reboot the host, RoboCop style. It's fucking bizarre. I love that they just shit on every trope that E3 does. Like, last year they were shitting on, you know, all the microtransactions. They were, you know, dealing with, like, all the insanity of always online games. 2018, they were making fun of Bitcoin and blockchain. They were making fun of, you know, streamers in a sense with all the, you know, like, because all the reactions to Devolver's press conference last year, they were kind of, you know, shitting on that. It is just insanity. The only thing I give a shit about that came out of that was Metal Wolf Chaos, which was one of FromSoft's first games, and it was only released in English in Japan on the Xbox.
In English in Japan?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. It was one of the hidden gems to that market, and that market only. So what Devolver's done for the last year is kind of teased with FromSoft, bringing it to like modern consoles in our market. You know, they would put up like the presidential banner from the game. They would put up, you know, all sorts of wonderful, you know, tweets like back and forth. So what the Devolver did, and this is the devotion that Devolver has, is they've completely extracted the gameplay from like the actual Japanese edition, made a PC version, an ISO, basically emulated it to, you know, play through it. I know always support the official release. How can you support an official release that's existed in one market and didn't sell worth shit? I just wait for Red to watch the archive of this video and just like, no, you're talking about emulation. But yeah, there's that. They completely have redone this game from the ground up.
Yeah.
And it looks fucking phenomenal. So imagine a world where the mechs exist in the U.S. and the president is driving one.
Okay.
It's
Sounds
fucking
a little,
bizarre.
Bizarre, yeah.
Just go back and watch the trailer, man. It is fucking insane.
What game is it?
Metal Wolf Chaos, and it's the XD edition.
XD. It's the XD.
It's so weird. I fucking lost my shit when they made this real. So that was the one main takeaway. I mean, they announced like my friend Pedro's, which is coming to the Switch. A game called Scum. But aside from that, there wasn't a whole hell of a lot conference-wise. Yeah. And there never really is, because it's all basically one giant comedy skit.
Mm-hmm.
But let's get to Square Enix, which was bizarre. And you kind of alluded me to one thing, that was the Arbiter talking.
Yeah, it was. And I was very surprised, but everyone gets a chance at everything, so.
Talking for another company. It's weird hearing his voice anywhere but in Halo at this point.
If he was in Microsoft right now doing the E3, golden. It would have been like 10-10.
Yeah.
I mean, it was good either way, but the Square Enix E3, it was lacklustering to say the least, even though they did have the Kingdom Hearts 3 going for them.
They had
a
lot
of few
good
other games.
But my main takeaway from this was you announced a conference. You did not appear on a stage. You had a prepackaged 30-minute pre-edited sizzle reel.
Exactly. Yeah, I think the reason why they did it was because they didn't want to piss anyone off. They're just like, I don't feel like going out there and just showing them off a
fucking
few
conference
games.
is you standing on stage talking to a crowd. You're not pre-editing. You're not Nintendo. You're better than this, Square.
Hi, I'm Reggie from Nintendo, not even at the place right now.
I'm sitting on my shitter live streaming this to you.
But there was Shigeru Miyamoto on there, though.
Like, I could picture Reggie doing that at this point because Nintendo fans are so utterly complacent with whatever they do. Like, he could live stream him in the bathroom for a Nintendo Direct. And fans would eat it up. Like, 10 out of 10, Nintendo won, Nintendo won. They won E3.
They weren't even there!
Exactly. Go into any game group right now on Facebook, and you will see what E3 does to them. It's depressing. So I'm kind of glad that we, as the channel, don't give as much of a shit about the group that we came from anymore.
Yeah.
Because I went into the Planet Unity group, and I looked at it, and I'm like, oh, it's more of this. Glad I don't care anymore, and I just logged out of Facebook for E3. I'm just like, no. And then I'll log back in whenever I see something good. Okay, this is good. Log back out. Log back in. Okay, this one
Had
looks
to
good.
post a few memes on that group, though, you know?
You posting the Sony one was the high point of my day in that group.
The one I edited?
Yep, that was the high
Yeah, that
point.
was
I'm like,
funny.
and then arguing with the Sony fanboys in there.
Oh, man, I was just like, come on, let's go. Like,
At that point, I was too drunk to care if Eli banned me from the group.
oh, I was throwing names out the window, bro. I was going on one force.
You diverted
It was
to
funny.
just throwing. You just went to straight calling him a weeb. That's not really an insult when you have an anime profile
it's
picture.
iconic that I do. I just call people weebs. I'm just like, fucking weeb.
That's your trope in the group, okay?
Exactly. I'll just be like, you could have a very good point in argument. I'll be like, you're still a fucking weeaboo, so it don't matter. Like, something like that.
But anyway, so they showed off Shadows of the Tomb Raider, which, underwater level, immediate concern. Did you play Underworld? Did you play Underworld? That underwater level was horrible.
Control-wise?
Control-wise, in any game, you see underwater level, you immediately draw concern.
Unless it's Crash Bandicoot. As long as it's like, you know, side-scrolling in its water, it's fine. But when it comes to the 3 dimensions,
yeah,
we're getting a little bit complex.
I go back to one iconic scene from G4's, I believe it was X-Play, when they were reviewing the Aquaman PlayStation 2 game. I'm sure anybody that remembers G4 remembers this. And they're just like, if you're expecting anything, you know, kind of somewhat mechanical and somewhat, you know, playable, go seek a game elsewhere. Because this game is broken. This is Superman 64 broken. You cannot progress past the first level, really. It was so horrendously control-wise.
But isn't, like, water controls almost the same like air controls? Like, say, for example, like an aircraft game, wouldn't it be almost the same? Because it's using those dimensions.
Oh, dude, it's... You're
it's
right
a
and you're
little
wrong.
complex.
You're right and you're wrong. Control-wise, like, they've evolved over the years, but what I'm most concerned about is Tomb Raider has a history with shitty underwater levels. You go to, like, your, I hope they kind of adopt, I don't know, did you play Uncharted 4?
Of course I did.
Okay, I hope they kind of adopt something like that mechanic there.
Yeah.
But if they go to, like, the underwater mechanics for, like, Underworld or literally any other Tomb Raider or any other game, it's going to be a bad time.
It's gonna be a bad time. You better take that water level out. That's why Monster Hunter doesn't have water levels anymore, by the way, because it sucks so bad. No one liked it.
Exactly. Now, I'll give Crystal Dynamics the credit here that they've done a fantastic job with this reimagined Lara Croft. But the minute I saw that, I'm like, don't fuck this up. Don't fuck this trilogy up. Just don't. I have zero faith in Tomb Raider water levels after Underworld. I can't help it. I went back and played it when it was free on Xbox Games with Gold, and it still sucks to this day. They never fixed anything.
Man,
So don't fuck up my Lara Croft, man. But you got like a Mayan apocalypse theme. You got new combat. There's all sorts of wonderful, things that could come from this. I don't know if they're capping it here because it's been, like trilogy, or if this is just the end of this trilogy and they're going to continue. Who knows?
Yeah.
But yeah, we had, Stormblood. This is where you can kind of chime in more.
They had what would we call it? A crossover, right? That's
Yeah.
what we would call it. Yeah. So in Stormblood Final Fantasy, they decided to do a crossover with Monster Hunter and Final Fantasy, of course. And I didn't know about this until yesterday. Monster Hunter had the crossover with Final Fantasy, and they actually are going to put Behemoth in Monster Hunter, which is actually an iconic monster from Final Fantasy, the franchise itself. But they added Rathalos and Bloodstorm, and I was like, what the fuck are they doing? But then again, I was like, actually, that's pretty cool, because not only that, they have a very popular flagship monster from the Monster Hunter series. I could see a lot of potential with relationship-wise with Square Enix and Capcom, because Monster Hunter is ran by Capcom and Square Enix Final Fantasy. So I could see potential stuff like them adding the iconic Rathalos gear set. I could see other things like the weapons in there too. But I'm actually curious what the combat would look like. I could see a lot of AoE moves because of the fireballs he spits out and stuff, tail swiping and stuff.
Mm-hmm. There's not.
But when I seen it, I was just like, "What the hell is this?"
That was my because we were doing one of our recordings when this was going on. I'm like, okay, this is kind of weird, because Rathalos plus Final Fantasy doesn't really make sense, because there's not really a really great dodge mechanic in 14. There's not really any breakaway system.
Oh no, it's like poop. Scrap.
There's no like breakaway system, which is a key function in the Monster Hunter franchise.
I guarantee you what's going to happen is these attacks for the Rathalos, they're going to be pre-charged, meaning they're going to take a little bit more time to charge up to do that specific move. So, like, I'd say give it 2 seconds, and you can get out of the way of that AoE area, and then he'll do the tail swipe and something like that. That's what I see coming out of this.
Yeah, like, what really concerns me with this one is, aside from dodging and that, is like, is this going to be a recurring event, or is this going to be an offshoot? Because if this is an offshoot, then I can see the need to bring Rathalos in, because one of the most iconic monsters in Monster Hunter franchise. But if they're going to do this, again and again and again, shouldn't they brought in, something else?
Yeah, I think this is just a small collaboration, to be honest. Just based on how popular Monster Hunter World is right now, I think they're trying to get some popularity. Yeah, I mean, like, I complain about it all the time, but in general, Monster Hunter World is a fantastic game. Aside of the crappy weapons that look all cloned, but I mean, I could see this as a positive thing. Like I said, it could probably strengthen the relationship with Capcom and Square Enix. It could go either way. It could go bad. It could just be this one instance where they just did this and they'll probably never do it again. We don't know.
Yeah, there's something there. I'm honestly, with Monster Hunter being such a storied franchise and Final Fantasy, being the same, I wasn't really shocked that we would see a collaboration at some point. I just pictured it being like more in like Final Fantasy 15, kind of like they did the Assassin's Creed crossover a while back.
Yeah.
I would see that more than in an MMO, but I guess with Monster Hunter World, being this always online, kind of thing.
Yeah. A lot of MMOs do a lot of collaborations, especially one of them I like to mention, Monster Hunter. Monster Hunter Online, Frontier, they do a lot of Japanese collaborations. Lots, like Fairy Tail or other franchises like One Piece. They do a lot.
Okay, I'm okay with the One Piece one. Fairy Tail, no.
Yeah, it was when Fairy Tail was kind of big at a time, so it only made sense.
Yeah. So, like we said during the other, Steam, that's a great time for a pop-up. Like we said during the other bit, Captain Spirits kind of is tie into Life is Strange 2. It looks like we have an entirely new world setting. We've left Arcadia Bay, it looks like, or we're in a new area outside of there, which makes sense, since Arcadia Bay, you go off of what's considered canon thanks to the comic. Arcadia Bay doesn't exist anymore. You chose the Bay over the Bay, and as the fandom calls it, because fuck the shitty city. So moving on from there, we enter this new town with this kid. I forget his fucking name. And his imagination powering everything, which has got me thinking: is the imagination the power of this spinoff, or are we going to see more of like the timey-wimey bullshit powers like Max had, or are we going to see that, because each one of them has had a function. Like Before the Storm has had the backtalk function. Then in the main game we had the rewind time, ability, and this one, I guess we'll have like this imagination ability, which could be pretty fucking OP. Like he's flying a spaceship, this looks so weird. As somebody that loves the Life is Strange franchise, I'm super hyped for this game. I mean, I did just go back and 1,000 out of 1,000 them both on Xbox.
That's crazy. Always with the achievements, man.
I'm an achievement whore. I can't help it.
He's like, I gotta get that platinum trophy on PlayStation 4. I'm like, I don't even have one platinum.
My first platinum was Assassin's Creed 2. Okay.
Was it easy?
Aside from the feathers, actually it was pretty fucking easy. Hunting down the feathers, they weren't really shaded well, so I ended up printing off a map. So I'm like, okay, now I go back to each individual place, like, okay, there's no feather here, I got this one, mark it off. Okay, did I go here? Okay, yeah, I've been here, mark this one off. I hate myself.
I mean, I have 0 platinum trophies, but I have a bunch of gold, silvers, and bronzes.
I'm thinking I'm trophy level 21. I don't.
Yeah, you're way up there, bro. I'm like only 7 or 8. I'm like, damn, David has so many fucking trophies.
I didn't have internet for the longest time.
Oh, so you were just like, what else can I do?
So basically, once I logged into PlayStation Network when I moved to Nashville, Michigan, and had internet, I just mass uploaded all my trophies. So it was just like, I'm like, so there's a trophy level? Fuck. Okay. Guess I'm getting to grinding.
Shit.
But yeah, it's like, I don't care as much about trophies anymore because they don't net me anything. And then once they announced, that you can, trade them for like PSN credit, I'm like, okay, cool. I can do the same thing on Xbox. Great job, Sony. You're just copying. But yeah, we saw Dragon's Quest 11. You tormented me with all the Dragon Quest games. I'm like, no, I don't need to go out and buy a Japanese console just to play these games. But now I do.
Region locked.
That reminds me. We have a Famicom Mini at work. That'll be available in 13 days. The same.
Fuck. I
Totally
don't
off
need
topic,
it.
But sorry.
I don't need that. I don't need that. I don't need that. I don't need that.
I don't need it. I don't need it.
You want it?
I do want it.
I need it.
Pretty much what's going through my head right now, Justin. So, Dragon's Quest XI, you're a bigger JRPG fan than me, I believe, so...
I don't know. I think we're kind of on the same level. Maybe not. I don't know.
But, like, Dragon's Quest XI, I know that's why Togashi's not writing any Hunter x Hunter chapters right now. He's playing it right now. Fucking asshole.
Fucking asshole, get back to you fucking...
Get back to the series before you die. Yes, I took it there.
Yeah.
But, like, even he's...
That's the
like,
one that goes on the major hiatuses.
Yes, that and Berserk. Like, one goes on hiatus, one goes off hiatus. It's like they're the
Like,
same
you guys
person.
made, like, a hiatus chart of it, too, or I think you found it on the internet or something.
Yeah, we
was
found it on
fucking
Reddit.
Crazy. It was just like...
Here's all the way up to the Chimera Anarch. Here's a gigantic fucking hiatus. You know, here's the chapters. There's a hiatus, then a couple chapters in the hiatus, and it gets shorter and shorter each time, but it's still a thing. And this lucky bastard's probably playing it right now and tormenting all of us by not releasing any more chapters. And I'm just like, oh, great, now I get to play it and sink 240 hours plus into it. Not like any of life. But that was super hype. I know they were teasing releasing it for the Switch as well when the Switch was announced, so...
There's another one. More profit right there.
Maybe you get a new title? You poor thing.
Maybe.
Maybe. I've already uninstalled Fortnite.
Hey, I still have Fortnite on there.
Not
The
with
only problem I hate with the Switch is the volume on the handheld. It's so low. It's just like I can't hear anything on that. It's just like...
Well,
that's the problem
let
with
me tell you on their
handhelds.
wonderful chat adapter. I'm not even going to attempt to sell it because it's the most absurd thing ever. There's no sales pitch necessary. It's just like you plug it into some phone and you plug it into your device and you...
Oh, God. It's just like, give me a headphone, please. A headphone
There's a
jack.
third-party support with a Bluetooth headphone jack and an actual 3.5mm jack. That
Thank
just
you.
plugs right into the USB-C at the bottom of the console.
I don't understand what Nintendo was thinking. Were they thinking out of their ass? Or, like,
It's Nintendo. They always
it's like, we have to be as
We have to be
gimmicky as
so far
possible.
out there that no one else will copy us. Oh, wait, Sony does it.
Yeah, like, I just want a console for once, and then they keep shitting out handhelds, and I'm just like, man, I wanted a console.
I'm actually one of those people that are completely okay with it because I take it with me everywhere.
I mean, I'm okay with it too, but I just like I can't even tell you how many times my fucking tablet has fallen on the ground
Yeah.
because of how unstable the actual dock is. It's just like, and it falls over. I'm just like,
Oh, don't even get me started on the kickstand.
oh my god, that's another thing. The kickstand's not even in the fucking middle of the tablet. It's just like if you slightly touch the opposite side of where the kickstand is, it just flops right over.
I
I'm
know.
like, Nintendo, what the fuck is this?
I know, it's just like...
It's like, I think someone was like, oh man, that logo's right dead in the center. We don't want to ruin that. All right, put the kickstand way in the fucking opposite side.
It's dumb. It's Nintendo. I'm used to
They
it.
could have added 2 kickstands. I don't care.
I mean, there's plenty of space there for 2. There's plenty of dead space. Okay, I see you, phone. I see you. I see you. Okay. Thank you, Red, if you're watching the archive. I saw that you are making the video thumbnail for Chris's video. Great. But yeah, that's one of them that's coming out really soon, September 4th. Babylon's Fall is one of those that we didn't see a whole hell of a lot of. Which was...
But actually looked really interesting.
It
say the
really
least.
did. That one, I'm already sold on. It's looking really great. Another Near Port trailer. Then we had Project Octopath, which looks phenomenal. I love how the wonderful bingo chart for Nintendo's or for Square's version was like Project Octopath looks even more freaking like, what is it, like, pretentious.
The thing I do like about that new game, Octopath, is they do take the 2D dimensions to a 3D perspective as well, so that's pretty cool.
It's looking even more pretentious. It's just like, the game, I don't know about you, Justin, but I love cel-shaded art.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why I was kind of sold on, like, Setsuna. Like, that kind of, like, sprite, old school 8-bit bullshit.
Yeah, I don't mind the sprites in anything. It's just I don't know how to feel about it. I was just like, it's good. It's just, I don't know if it would appeal to me. It probably, if I were to play this game, to be honest, I'd probably play it for a couple hours and probably
there's 2
pick it up
demos. The other
once in a
one's
while.
out today. I definitely recommend checking it out. It's a throwback to, like, old school RPGs. So that's what I'm kind of hyped for, because we don't see a whole lot of that outside of, you know, indie titles anymore. So there's a lot of room for it to, you know, be a new thing in the marketplace, essentially.
And not to mention, it's made by Square Enix itself.
Yeah, who know what they're doing with that kind of title. But Just Cause 4. The rumor from Walmart Canada.
Thank you, Canada.
I'm just glad, because I don't know about anybody else, you know, but Just Cause is an endless supply of content like GTA Online.
Got a point, yeah.
You know, just the random explosions, the random, you know, fun.
It's like Michael Bay in a nutshell. We'll throw anything in there. We'll throw in space. We'll throw in dinosaurs. We'll throw in, like, anything, man. It's just like,
we'll make Bumblebee, you know, a martyr. We'll, you know,
we'll add Transformers in there.
And we'll throw, you know, we'll throw Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles that look like they're hopped up on meth in there. Get this man the fuck out of Hollywood is my point. Quit ruining our childhood. Well, I guess you can't ruin it any more than Thundercats, you know, Roar does. We'll save that for another video. Again.
Cal Arts, goddamn you bean-faced motherfuckers.
You know, I get that you need to appeal to a new generation, but you're not Thundercats with that cringe.
It's not even the point anymore. It's just like they keep doing it over and over and over.
Look at Teen Titans Go's ratings from premiere to now. How shitty it is. You're not appealing to really anyone.
It's so desperate that they break the fourth wall. It's just like, what can we do to appeal audience? I know, let's break that fourth wall
Let's
for the 15,000th time.
Let's reference the original series, you know, constantly to try and draw nostalgia.
Like an asshole. Let's pull the biggest asshole move and have Tara Strong tweet out, you know, support the movie and we might get a season 6 of the original. Yeah, I just like, it's not gonna happen. I don't see it happening.
Here's what I'm doing. I will buy a ticket to the movie. I will not sit in the seat. I'll just put it on my wall, because I'm not sitting through 2.5 hours of my ears and eyes bleeding.
I had a feeling you'd do something like that, David. I'm like, he's definitely not gonna see the movie, but I wasn't expecting him to buy the ticket and just going straight fucking home.
I'll buy the ticket. I'll do what I do for, like, every major launch, is I go to the theater, and, like, the day the tickets go on sale, I'll pre-order a ticket. Like I did it for Last Jedi, I did it for Solo, did it for Deadpool, did it for Infinity War, and then I immediately went over to the bar at our theater and had an Infinity Gauntlet drink, which was very fucking great. It's just a glorified screwdriver that was $10, though. I mean, you added a cherry garnish and you threw in some pineapple juice. Big fucking deal. You can't charge $9 for that. Then again, it's theater.
The theaters, though.
Yeah, I expected, you know, something a little bit different. But okay. 0 out of 10 wouldn't buy again. But, you know, I do that for every major release, so I'll just go and do that for this. And it's like, I'll just pin it up there with all my other tickets. And it's like, I supported it. The rest of you fuckers supported so we can get a season 6. Watch it never happen. But yeah, we had The Quiet Man, which... it's not even gameplay footage. It was what looked like a CGI trailer. Hello,
Yeah.
who is in the call now? Is that a noble returning?
It's the Shoryuken.
Oh, it's Thurman. Holy shit, he's alive.
It's a That's Thurman?
Yes, he renamed himself after Lieutenant trolled him.
Fucking weeb.
So, Thurman.
Nice.
Let's wake up, get our hands off of our snake, and,
Bro, you have no idea.
and get a little closer to your mic and mute the chat.
You're mumbling, bro. This is Thurman. His phone vibrates all the time. He mumbles, and he likes to talk when he's like 15 feet away from the actual
Support him on
thing itself.
SoundCloud. I couldn't resist with the mumble.
Level 25 rapper on SoundCloud. Knows how to play fighting games, but always gets destroyed.
Lost a bet and was banned from fighting games for a year. But yes, yeah, so we're on Square Enix. We did 90% of the stream without you.
I mean, we do get to talk about Sony at the end. So.
Oh yeah, so he gets to shit on Sony. But The Quiet Man this is one of those titles that just weirded me the hell out. I don't know about anybody else, but it's like he put his fingers in his ears and just kind of shut off the world around him and just went full on Bruce Lee.
There was a game that reminded me of The Quiet Man. What's that game with the character that has the shadows and they're like demons or like monsters, and he has like
darkness.
I think so. Yeah, he's got like two darkness shadows on his back, and they're like monsters that come out. Yeah.
Avenging the wife, and then slowly turning into the darkness monster, and then you don't get anything past the sequel, which covers the majority of the remaining comics, but there's enough there for another fucking game, but they refuse to make a third game.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's kind of like that. It's just like, I'll give him credit, he didn't, damage the bag that he was carrying with him throughout the entire fight. I have no idea what this game is, but it's safe. It intrigues the hell out of me. I want to see more of it. We're going to get more info in August, according to the stream. And then we had another Kingdom Hearts trailer. I believe this was the Port Royale trailer. Mm-hmm. Which nobody wanted again. But I'd take it over Atlantica, like I said earlier. And then Ubisoft. Ubisoft.
That was actually a pretty funny one.
Yeah, I'll give them three things right off the bat. Herc's Hope County Discovery Tour that they teased during the IGN stream, at least, was fucking hilarious. I love Herc. So seeing that, just like basically parodying the Discovery Tour that's on Assassin's Creed Origins is fucking hilarious.
Yeah.
I don't know if anybody's played the Discovery Tour, but it's actually, this really unique experience that you can go through, like, the pyramids and learn more about, history through it. So that's a really cool idea. Not a whole lot to learn about a fictional county in Montana. But it's still fucking funny. I'll give them credit for the trials, dude.
Oh my god, that was pretty fucking funny.
That was funny. But I gotta deduct massive points for the Just Dance Panda Bear.
Oh my god, dude, that was like, I was crying during that. I was just like,
I was laughing and crying at the same time. Like, I knew it was coming because they open every fucking E3 with Just Dance.
David's in the background. He's like, a fucking furry? Are you kidding me, bro?
It's not even the fact that it was a furry. It's just like, that's what they've resorted to at this point, is open it with that so we can get it the hell out of the way.
Yeah, you got a point. Yeah, it's probably the shittiest one, so let's make it first.
But playing a brass rendition of fucking Sugar... 2015 is way, way gone, people. At least play a song from the last 2 years.
Oh, did I not mention that that game is going to the Wii?
It's going to the Wii U? Are you kidding me?
No, the Wii.
The
Wii?
Yes.
Proof.
I know it's coming on the Wii. It's one of those titles. If not, it's the Wii U. Let me see. Hold on.
Find it, please. Because if it's going to the fucking Wii, I'm live editing that shit up.
2018 Wii.
If there's support for the fucking Wii in 2018, I've lost all hope in Ubisoft.
It was like a. Oh my god.
Please,
Is
God,
it
no.
2019 or is it going to be 2018?
It's coming out in October.
No, but which year is it on?
It's 2019.
2019. Okay, yeah, 2019.
I know 2017, I think, was on the Wii.
They did have 2018 on the Wii though as well. So.
Okay. Anyway, while you find that, Beyond Good and Evil 2. Who's a Beyond Good and Evil fan? Is Thurman even alive in this chat? Oh, he's muted and deafened. Okay, cool. He didn't hear that.
Oh, here it is. Yeah, I found it. Okay. Do you want the link or the screenshots? It's like both,
screenshot.
All right. I'm gonna put it in the group. I'm not joking.
Oh my god. Please. Please, you.
I mean, it makes sense. It's just one of those titles that they just throw on the console. You know, just throw it on an almost dead console anyway.
Almost dead. Almost dead. There's not even.
I mean, they don't have a service on there anymore, right? They shut down their whole service and.
Oh my ever-loving God!
I told you.
Why?
This is from Engadget, by the way. So.
How are you going to even play it on the Wii at this point? Like, okay, Ubisoft. You've officially gone insane.
Like, would anyone buy this for the Wii?
You know what? I don't even play Just Dance, and I'm gonna buy it just to say I got it. Why the fuck not?
Hey, anyone want to play Just Dance 2019 on the Wii? What the fuck?
You know, this is gonna be one
unless
of those
it's
games.
Like your grandparents or something. I don't know.
I kind of get why they're doing it, and it's sad, but they use the Wii in nursing homes and shit, and this would be a great way to get people to move.
I had a feeling. I had a fucking feeling.
That would be the one major selling point for this, you know, because remember, there was times when they were having, like, nursing homes buying, like, mass quantities of the Wii because of the motion controls and shit. So I can kind of get it.
Mm-hmm.
And it'll get, you know, elderly people to get up and move, and those with, you know...
Come play this shitty-ass dancing game.
Come shake your geriatric ass. But, like, it... I can see it from that aspect, but from a sales point aspect, that's a very, 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 very niche market.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Maybe I'm just jaded. It doesn't make a whole hell of a lot of sense to me. Like, okay. Anyway, there are no new comments. I've seen Swan's comments, but I'm not responding to him. I know what he's trying to do. But yeah, there's that. We can go into, like, Beyond Good and Evil 2. This is what weirded me out. Because at last E3, they said it was a prequel. So how the fuck is Jade all grown up when she was a protagonist of the first game and she was, what, like 14, 15 in the original game? Yeah, in a prequel she's all grown up?
Huh.
So are we ditching the prequel aspect because enough people complained? Or is that what we're going with here?
Don't know.
Like, they showed off, like, Ganesha gameplay. You saw Jade and Pig return. Beyond Good and Evil Fest, you can get art into it. This to be, you know, merch, essentially, I'm guessing. And They partnered up with Joseph Gordon-Levitt's hit record. So yeah, that's or hit record, or however you want to say it, thing. So that's kind of neat, you know. We have a Rainbow Six Siege documentary coming, so it's pretty cool. No new info on the next season. And then we have Trials Rising, which we touched on briefly, being a saving grace of the conference with the dude coming in on the dirt bike.
And purposely falling. Just to make it look funny.
Yeah, I mean, I'm all for like a good gag skit, you know. It's like
yeah, in his broken English, yeah, pretty much.
Well, I mean, I believe Red Lynx is from Finland, if I'm not mistaken. So
yeah, something like that. I mean, it's Ubisoft Montreal as well, so it's like
I was expecting broken English, you know, from Ubisoft.
There was some guys that were very hard to understand. I'm just like,
I was like, please, can we get a translator? That's not me trying to be, racist. That's just like, if you're going to present, you should have a translator on stage, especially if you're presenting to somebody in America for that, because as much as you either like or hate to admit it, E3 can make or break a game company. That's like, look at Nintendo, for example, how their stock fell after their press conference or their direct. That happens every year. And even from a streamer's aspect, I fucking hate Ninja, but he went to E3 and he lost 40,000 subscribers for being gone for 2 days. Yeah. So I'm like, E3 makes or breaks your career, essentially.
Yeah, I was looking up a little bit about Ninja, and apparently he was in like championships of Halo, so that's why he was a little bit more popular.
Yeah, I despise the dude.
Fucking hate him.
I don't hate him because he's successful. I hate him because of what success has made him.
Oh yeah, just streaming.
Yeah, there's
a lot of pro players in CS:GO are just doing streaming. Like they're just ditching their pro careers just to
they
Twitch.
make more money that way, really.
Yeah.
And it's sad that that's what it's become, but like, success can either turn you into the nicest person or it can turn you into the biggest asshole.
Leafy is here is dead.
Yeah, I mean, well, I'm kind of resurrecting his format for gaming videos. But like, that he's Ninja's turned into like an egotistical asshole since he's become even more popular. So like that's what's kind of turned me off from him. But yeah, that I'm sure every Ninja fan's gonna turn into this, and it's like, oh fuck, he's talking shit about my boy. Oh god.
Oh man.
Like, oh well, that's my opinion. Division 2. Division 2 looks phenomenal.
Yep.
So did the first game, though.
And it got sparkled on first game.
Yeah, and I'm hesitant to buy number 2. I'm a Tom Clancy fan. But number 1, and I'm sure I've heard all the stories that it's improved and all that. But number 1, you could not go into the Dark Zone without getting ganked.
I know that experience. Another thing, too, about the Division, the original one, when they had the E3 trailer, I believe, it looked so beautiful until the game actually came out.
Yeah.
So I hope they don't do that again.
Of stuff from E3. That's the downside to E3. Like, for example, in the Sony press conference, Ghost of Tsushima looks orgasmic. But are those real graphics?
We don't even have a release date on that game, by the way.
I know. That's another thing that we'll get to when we go to Sony. But yeah, it's like, there's that. That effect is throughout E3, though, and we've known this as gamers for years. Look at Duke Nukem Forever, for example.
Mm-hmm.
Gameplay at E3 looked great. Some of us bought the Balls of Steel edition only to get, dated dick jokes and...
I assume it was you, David.
Yeah, I have the statue over on my stand. I got a little bust of Duke. But
it was a failure.
Yeah, it was a commercial failure. I'm not denying that.
Think of that bust as a major L. Okay.
I have quite a few statues for major L's. So I'm not going to lie. Looks around the room. But yeah, but like that's the effect for every E3. That's what I was getting at. So like Division 2, it could look that great upon launch. I mean, we have the graphical capacity, at least on the PC end. I don't know so much about like the PS4 or the Xbox One, the base consoles anyway.
For example, we could take the Xbox One X. That would do a little bit better. But I'm not sure about the Pro, or just original Xbox One or a PS4. So.
Yeah, like that's the thing with these segregated consoles. With everything, like the PS4 Pro, you and I both shit on enough. Like it's not
true native.
It's not true native 4K. The Xbox One X is, but I mean, there's a lot of this division in the consoles. Like, okay, so it's definitely not going to look that great on the core PS4. It's definitely not going to look that great on the core Xbox One. Might look that good on the Xbox One S, who knows? But because it does support native 4K to a capacity, but not fully. So yeah, there's that. But yeah, there's 8-player teamwork co-op. We got raids.
Raids, big thing.
We got the opening is kind of like a "This is America" moment.
I didn't really like the opening, not the opening, the guy's actual presentation when they were actually playing it. It just was too fucking corny, to be honest.
The comms were definitely not fake at all.
Oh my god, it was just like have some, like something going on there. Like I hate when they do that so much. It's just like it's so overly faked. I mean, yeah, it looks professional for presentation, of course, yes.
So, a bit of Jump Force news, thanks to Thurman here. Death Note characters aren't playable in Jump Force, but are involved in the story.
You know what's actually funny about that? I was just looking up Jump Force like an hour ago, and that's what I seen that.
Yeah, so, again, directing back to the Jump Force discussion, I called that shit.
Broken!
Like, dude, I couldn't picture Light being a combative character in a fighting game at all. Ryuk, I could, but Light, no. So I'm like, they have to be like some sort of either the protagonist of the story or the antagonist, depending on how they tell the story mode. So I'm like, okay, cool. So yeah, thanks Thurman if you're actually able to hear. So yeah, there was that. The DLC is free for everyone. They've ditched the seasonal format that they used in the Division 1, which is great. The fact that has to be a selling point again is pathetic. And it comes out on March 15th. And then we got to what was probably the high point of the conference for me, aside from like Assassin's Creed, which the minute I saw Assassin's Creed, I just sent a picture of like the nut button out and just like nut. Best $11 purchase. Even though I've kind of wore it out during streams. But yeah, the Donkey Kong game was what I was seeing originally. I'm like, oh great, Rare's not doing a Donkey Kong game. Ubisoft is doing a Donkey Kong game. It's not Nintendo. It's probably going to only come to the Switch. But we got Donkey Kong. Because my thought for Nintendo the next day was going to be SNES Classic or N64 Classic. Because they rode that train for the last 2 E3s. I'm like, yeah. This was going to be like Ubisoft's way of teasing like Rare, allowing them to license off like Donkey Kong characters for the N64 or something. Which
is interesting to say the least. I actually was pretty surprised that Donkey Kong was in there. I was like, oh, okay.
I saw it. I'm like, oh, it's the UbiArt crew. I thought at first, like, is it?
He's like very distinct.
And then no, it's fucking Rabbids. I'm like, god damn it. I see the Rabbids as being the most milked Ubisoft franchise to date.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Even more so than Assassin's Creed. Because, let's face it, rabbits have been fucking everywhere.
They're fucking rabid.
Like, they've been to the moon. They've been, party games. They've been on a PlayStation Move. They've been a fucking TV show. Now they're invading Mario's kingdom. Okay.
And then there's buff rabbits, which honestly, that I was like dying through. I'm like, what the fuck is that thing?
Yeah, he's got some gains for sure. And then there's the Donkey Kong rabbit.
And then he was obviously juicing.
And I'm just
so.
like, ugh, no. But of course I'm gonna fucking buy it because I love that kind of title. I fucking love strategy games. But I'm definitely not buying it day one. I still haven't bought the core game. Like, it's ridiculous. But Skull and Bones.
Oh yeah, that one was a good one.
So, if I'm gathering this correctly, this is what Sea of Thieves should have been.
Yes, that's what it should have been.
Like, naval combat, you got,
Oh god, it had everything. It had the customization as well.
Yeah, I mean, well, Sea of Thieves has customization, but it's not this in-depth. Like, it's ridiculous. Like, so, Skull and Bones, to me... Okay, Thurman's in the actual Facebook chat. We need more Rayman. Rabbits need to die. Like, they had their 15 minutes, but it's way too much. Okay. Thurman, I know you're in executive chat posting this, and not everybody that's on the stream has access to the executive chat. So, I'm going to live edit it up.
Oh. I'm not too big on Rayman games, but I do agree that they need to make at least a new one or something with it.
They definitely need to utilize quite a bit of their fucking IPs at Ubisoft, just like Sony does. I love how both of our chat icons are from the Promised Neverland now. It's ridiculous that it's taken over. But yeah, there's... The Skull and Bones, to me, is... I don't know if anybody remembers, but everybody wanted a full-on blown ship combat game after Black Flag. And they were rumored that they were working on it. This apparently is what that game was, and they've been teasing it for 2 years now.
Yeah, a lot of people in the YouTube comments were like, oh, this is just like Black Flag and stuff. And it's like salty people.
I mean, to be completely fair, they used the Black Flag engine before for a Pirates game, but it was a mobile game. And I played it because it went free for a day. I'm like, okay, cool, I'll buy it now. Buy it.
Yeah.
Because it's just like, I think it was like during last year's E3 it went free. So I'm like, okay, I'll buy it. It's actually pretty fun, but controlling a ship on a cell phone isn't the greatest.
Like playing Fortnite or PUBG on a cell phone isn't. Fuck that.
Yeah, it's definitely weird. So like seeing Skull and Bones, become a great, chance for them to redeem like ship combat and bring it back from the dismal pits of Sea of Thieves. I'm glad. So there's that one. Transference, I don't really know too much about it. So
yeah, we only got the teaser trailer and that was about it. So
okay, I'll see you later. If you ever want to hop back on, Kate, just let me know.
I will. Alright, work.
I'll probably be into your work to pick up my titles later.
Okay. I think I'm at the Granville location today, though, so.
Oh, okay.
So, we'll see.
Alright. See you later.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's definitely a lot there that we can do for transference. VR-wise, no, you can't follow her out. Doggo's got to join the stream. But yeah, that's definitely a different game because it's like Elijah Wood teasing it. What the fuck?
yeah, that was very obscure.
I'm like, okay, he's not wearing his paper mask. But yeah, there's a lot there that we can see from as like kind of like a PT style game. It looks like, I don't know, but It's a weird fucking game. I don't know if I'm going to buy it. Starlink, though.
That game was very, I was half and half, to be honest, but now, like, overall, good game. I was just not really sold on the whole fucking,
the toys.
The ship on the fucking controller. I'm like, what the hell?
It's Skylanders, man.
Hey, Skylanders. But I did like the crossover with, Fox McCloud.
It's definitely going to be the odd one, to say the very least. I don't know how much I'm going to play it. I'll probably buy it because of Star Fox. But yeah.
I wonder how it will do on the Switch, though.
I don't fucking know, dude. It's like the controller's warping over the Joy-Con grip, and I'm like, what the fuck is this? Dude, no.
That's like a normal question you have to ask with the Switch, or any game coming to the Switch. Will it actually do pretty good? Will it look good?
Yeah, it's gonna be a weird one. But yeah, we got For Honor DLC, 4v4 Castle Siege mode. I think For Honor's dead at this point.
It's dead and it's broken. It's even proven in the pro area, like, esports and stuff. A lot of characters were exploited and just like really broken. So they have to do a lot to fix that game. So like you said, it's pretty much dead.
Yep. And then we had Crew 2, which looks shitty as hell. I'm not a big car guy, aside from Forza, so I'm like, oh.
Yeah, pretty much.
We have Assassin's Creed Odyssey, which is the big title for this bit. Grease setting. We had the Spear of Leonidas, looking like it's a piece of Eden. We had a premiere trailer and gameplay. The Twitch chat was fucking toxic the minute they announced that there was a female playable character.
Woman!
I'm like, oh, okay, it's 2018. Who cares if there's a woman character playable? I mean, at this point, it's kind of fucking necessary. Because if you don't include it, you'll get toxicity. If you do include it, you'll get toxicity. You'll get people like, but where's my inclusion? Or you'll get people that are like, oh, here is the fucking people bitching that there is inclusion. So I'm like,
yeah, it was, even on YouTube, it was bad. It was just, even with Battlefield 5, it was the same one. It was like,
I gotta give
something to expect.
I gotta give credit to EA for one thing. They stood their ground. They're like, if you don't like it, don't fucking buy it.
Yeah.
That was their basically official statement. So I give them credit for growing a pair of balls there. But
oh wait, I finally got notifications from Discord now.
Oh wow, Thurman.
It's a dead Thurman.
But yeah,
you guys didn't see me message in Discord, but I said I was gonna mute for a bit.
No, I've seen your message.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So yeah, there's a whole lot that's added to this game. It's taking on like almost a fully fledged RPG style.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting to say the least.
You got an expanded skill tree, a multi-skill wheel, branching storylines, and it comes out October 5th. So basically a year to the day from...
I'm telling you, October and November, big game titles.
Hey, Thurm, I know you're playing a game,
yeah.
But can you turn it down, man?
Is my thing loud?
Yep, your thing is all I hear on your end, really.
It's picking the background.
I was picking my PS4 up.
Yep. So yeah, so I mean, yearly release again for Assassin's Creed after they took a year off, and then released Origins to massive success. So congrats to Ubi. But yeah, it's great seeing it come back to a yearly, but I hope it doesn't become stagnant like it did before. There's always that risk. Oh, my baby girl. Yeah. Okay, you can get down now. But yeah, PC gaming, there wasn't a whole lot that was really worthwhile talking about. We had a Double Fine showcase with Knights and Bikes, Kids, and Ooblets. A new game from the creators of Goat Simulator called Satisfactory, which is a building manufacturer game. NeoCab, which is like an Uber driver sim. Enough battle royale jokes to make anybody cringe.
What was that shark game? There was a shark game in there too.
I'll get to that. I believe I will anyway. Maneater.
Oh god, that sounds like a.
It's literally you playing as a shark.
Yeah.
Hey, I got a game. It's called Depth.
Yeah, and it's like, okay, cool.
Move on.
Yeah, it's like we had Mavericks Proving Grounds, which is Battle Royale. Enough said. Forgotten City.
So it just seems like PC only got simulators this time around.
Well, I mean, they got a lot. We got the Forgotten City, which is a mod that was turned full game. The tagline being "The many shall suffer for the sins of the one," which sounds intriguing to say the least. Star Control Origins, which basically sounds like it's what No Man's Sky was supposed to be. Hunt the Showdown, got another teaser. Archangel Hellfire, The Sinking City, which is a Lovecraftian horror style game. Warframe, TennoCon coming July 7th. Sacrifice DLC trailer, which is coming out soon. A Sega sizzle reel, which showed a bunch of the Tales games, a bunch of Yakuza shit. There's that. Tripwire, basically announced new updates for Killing Floor, and then they're publishing that Maneater game. Bravery Network Online, I didn't see a whole hell of a lot there that interested me. Indie Sizzle Reel from Untitled Publisher, that's their actual fucking name. Such creativity in that one. Jurassic World Evolution. Stormland, which is Insomniac's VR open world title, which looks pretty good. Night Call, Sable, which is a self-shaded desert exploration game. Star Citizen, looks amazing, still in alpha. It's alpha 3.1.
It's pretty sad.
Like, I can swivel the mic a little bit closer to me now. We have Genesis Alpha 1, which is a resource space sim and gene splicing game. Don't Starve Hamlet. Just Cause 4 got an engine demo, which was like 2-3 minutes of engine play. Overkill's The Walking Dead. I think you dissected that one, didn't you? Justin, didn't you dissect that one in chat? Like their feet weren't even touching the ground in the demo.
Oh yeah, yeah. I stopped playing. I was just like, yeah, I'm done.
What the fuck is this shit? I just said it's overkill. I'm not expecting a whole hell of a lot. Like 2 Point Hospital. They had technical difficulties during this one, or they were doing slapstick. I don't know which. The guy's mic was cutting out because he had a stethoscope around his head. So the guy just leaned into the other guy's mic like this and just sultrily talked into the mic. And I know I'm peeking chat. But yeah, that was the thing. We had Realm Royale. Tease. Oh, that was our second Battle Royale title. Oh, wait. There's more. Anno 1800, which the guy mispronounces 1880. And then we had Rapture Rejects. The only Battle Royale game I'm giving a shit about at this point, because it's from the people that make fucking Cyanide and Happiness. And it's top-down, pull and drag characters,
Pull and drag.
I'm just like, what the fuck is this? This is bullshit. This is fucking glorious. Like, just because of Cyanide and Happiness, I'm just like, I will pre-register for this one. And I did.
Sounds like a... So I'm sitting Battle Royale, talking about like...
Battle Royale simulators and shit that we already knew about, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
So this is what I was hoping Kate wouldn't have to leave before, but unfortunately she had to. But Thurman, since you're here, my dude, you can bring the roast for Sony as well as I can, and as well as Justin can here.
Oh my god. First, you bring roast to their fan base who actually think that they did something this E3 again. I told you, man, it's worse every year. They always think Sony does something, but then they don't. They fail. And then I have to just prove why Sony lost, and then it's like, no, but they have better exclusives than Nintendo and Microsoft, so they. It's like they dick ride Sony's exclusives like they mean anything.
Well, I mean, like Red said earlier today, and like Justin said, exclusives don't really mean a whole hell of a lot anymore.
I can take an example, and that was what's that one game on PlayStation 4? Is it called Black Panther or something? Black Cougar or something like that? And it got like a 4 out of 10. It was horrible. So that's why I come up to the conclusion where an exclusive doesn't mean a whole hell of a lot.
Yeah, it's like an exclusive is what it's come down to now is, yes, there are games that will stay on one system. Yes, there are games that will stay, on one system for a year. Yes, there are games that will, go to every system. Yes, there are games that will go to everything, including the Switch, because that's a meme now. Everything's got to go ported to the Switch. Everything. That one shooter that, came out 27 years ago, yeah, let's put it on the Switch. Like, dude, chill with that meme. But yeah, it's one of those things that, like, exclusives mean jack fucking dick.
What makes it worse is the fact that Sony did the same thing they did last year. They essentially gave us games that we already knew about, and then they did a few remasters like they did last year, and then they gave us no date for certain series, so we don't know when these games are coming out. So I'm just like, okay, how can they win when they gave us literally no information on when some of these games are coming out, while Nintendo and Microsoft did? How are they winning when not only does Nintendo and Microsoft does remakes, they actually show us new titles, even if they're third party, they still show us new titles, while Sony does not. And if they do show us new titles, it's only like 2 or 3 in between. And then we don't have any release dates for those games at all. So I'm still trying to figure out how people can still say Sony wins anything when all of their conferences is just full of hopes and dreams and we'll never see anything again.
See, Thurman, here's the thing about E3. And, feel free, anybody to clip this. Because I know that's the thing that you can do. You can, screen record it. This is my perspective on E3. E3 is great for 2 things. Knowing where toxic fandoms come from, and knowing the sales numbers. Because you notice, in every, conference, you have what sells you, or sells the, industry. Like, for example, Microsoft, put in, this is coming to our Game Pass service. This is coming to our, ID at Xbox program. This is coming to our studios. Then with Sony's, they're like, this is, our games. These are our games. We're still making these games. We're still working on these games. Even though we don't have a release date for this title at this time, we're still going to show the same goddamn 3 games over and over and over and over and over again. Whereas Microsoft came out of the gate, boom, 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 boom.
Release dates over and over. And I like to give credit to Nintendo. Even though they didn't show Metroid Prime 4, they did conclude the game's not finished, we're not going to show it. That is what Sony should do. If it's not finished and it doesn't have a release date, do not show it.
Exactly. Like, I know Sony's perspective here. I know what they're doing. I get it. I get you're trying to hype people so you get massive sales. You're not going to get massive sales when you're driving your fan base the fuck away. And the fan base that is staying isn't one you want as a fan base.
Oh yeah, the current fan base Sony has is not a good one. They're instead of pulling the community together, they're pushing it away. It's getting to the point where Sony fans are actually becoming almost as bad as the PC purists. That's how bad it is.
PC Master Race!
It's not even the point that they're just liking their console. They're just targeting other consoles at this point.
Yeah. It's like they're saying, like, you can defend, you'll say, because for some reason it's so hard to admit that their precious Sony can't fuck up on anything. And I'm just like, they fuck up just like Nintendo and Microsoft do. And the thing is about Microsoft and Nintendo fans is that Nintendo fans are the hardest on Nintendo when they fuck up. Like, you remember when they announced the Metroid PC game? Nintendo fans was going hard on Nintendo, hard. And I'm like, even Reggie had to come out and say something. So I'm just like, how can you say that Nintendo fans dick ride Nintendo, but Nintendo fans are the hardest when Nintendo fucks up, and Microsoft is the same. Sony is the only fan base that I know that even if Sony fucks up, the Sony fans be like, "Oh, come on, guys, they make mistakes. Like, come on." It's just like they can do like a almighty God who can do no wrong. And
it's like they don't criticize their own console, and the point of criticizing is to improve. And this is what we see with these E3s. They keep showing the same shit.
Yeah, it's like
what makes it worse. It's like they say, and they always come after other fan bases afterwards. Like, wait a minute, how in the hell can you come after these fan bases when when first things first, Sony is doing way better than not Sony, Nintendo, Microsoft did way better than what Sony was ever doing. And then they keep bringing up, they showed us third-party games that'll be on the PS4 and better too. I'm still like, no, the point of E3.
But can your console support true native 4K?
Because the point of E3, it doesn't matter if it's fucking third-party or not. It's
exactly. E3.
Sony could have gotten Devil May Cry 5 on their stage. Hell, they have Black Ops 3, and Black Ops 3 isn't an exclusive.
No, wait, Thurman. Let me edit that really quick. They showed off Black Ops 3 coming free to fucking PlayStation Plus for the rest of the month, and then showed off Black Ops 4. It's like, you're advertising a 5-year-old fucking game at E3 to hype up a fucking shooter that's not coming out till October.
But I do give them credit, though, for that, because it is extremely hard to get a Call of Duty game for free.
I'm not denying that fact, Justin. I'm not.
And not the fact that these Call of Duty games always range from the price from 60. They never really drop down.
They really don't.
So I think it was some type of promotion accomplishment in a sense, but you said, it was 5 years old.
Exactly, like. It would have been something like, look at this, we're giving you, Call of Duty World War II free. That would have been a little bit better off than, saying...
I would have shit a brick if it was World War II. I mean, I have it, but...
So do I. I have Black Ops 3. I don't give a shit, I don't need to, redeem it. But it's just funny that was a selling point of their conference. It was like, during intermission, well, we'll talk about Black Ops. Oh, and by the way, you can get the previous title for free. What?
And it's just like I guarantee you, if Sony had Devil May Cry 5, Jump Force, and extra stuff on their stage, people would be like, "Oh yeah, Sony won, yeah."
Well, I mean, they're still doing that. They're still fucking doing that.
And I'm just like, it's not about the third-party support is cool, but they got it on their stage. Sony could have gotten those games on their stage. So that's the main reason. It's because of how
which stage, Thurman?
How you can get. And it's first party support doesn't mean jack, because I guarantee you more people were looking at the Microsoft conference than the Sony conference because they have those third party games showed.
It was actually proven. It was at one point #1 trending on YouTube.
Yeah, so I'm just like, see, Sony fanboys will get so butthurt to see that so Microsoft beat Sony in anything, and it's just sad at this point. I'm just like, I was arguing with this guy, so just like, take your L, man. Seriously, stop making excuses for Sony. Stop trying to make excuses for why Sony didn't win. Stop trying to say Microsoft.
I hate this whole.
That's why Sony won. Just take your L.
I hate this whole who won E3. It's stupid. Nobody wins E3. Nobody does, aside from the gamers. We win. All E3 is a glorified, selling point for titles. We have it as a mass market day. We have it for like. Every reporter, every YouTuber, everybody that's important as an influencer in the gaming community was at E3. And so was a lot of public attendees because they, still have it open to the public. It's not about who wins. It's not about any of that. It's pathetic that gamers have resorted to, like, wars inside the community. And this is one thing I've talked about, like, as Hazelson before. It's like, okay, this gaming console is great for this. This gaming console is great for this. This gaming console is great for this. The Switch is great for this. This is great for this. There's no winners. The PC is great for this. If you want, any, semblance of, like, not being completely fucking toxic, It's not about who won. It's not about, what gaming company, did the best. Of course, Microsoft, did better at selling their product. Because they announced, shit that's coming out this year and next. They didn't go up there and they didn't talk about titles that aren't coming out for God knows how long. We've replaced, God of War 4 with fucking Ghost of Tsushima once it was revealed at PSX. Because God of War 4 came out, and I think it was March, which I still need to finish that fucking game. So yeah, it's just like, you're showing out 3 titles, 3 major first-party titles for the last 3 years. One of them being Death Stranding, one of them being, Spider-Man, one of them being, now Ghost of Tsushima. But the gaming community, have become so toxic that you care more about whose console's dick you're sucking than anything about the quality of the product that it's releasing. It's not about, what games do I like. It's about, what is best to me. What console looks great. What console do I support? Because, I'm going to be honest with you. I own every fucking console out there. I'm not dick riding a console. I'm not dick riding PC. I'm not dick riding, handheld. I'm not dick riding mobile gaming. It's fucking pathetic that we've come to this. So yeah, The Last of Us 2 was a prime example of how fucking toxic the gaming community is during the fucking teaser for it. Immediately, Twitch chat, YouTube chat, they blew up with like, oh my god, they're pandering to the SJW agenda. They're pandering to, the fucking, they're pandering to lesbians. They're pandering because it's Pride Month, and that's the one thing they're showing. I'm like, what the fuck? What the fuck? Have you played The Last of Us? Have you played Left Behind? Have you read the comics? Ellie has been a lesbian since the dawn of fucking time. They're not rewriting canon. But the game looks fucking phenomenal.
My thing is, I like the who won E3 stuff because it's competition. Competition is good. I just don't like the ones who just don't know how to take a loss. And I honestly hate the console wars, but I feel like competition E3 is good. It brings out each company's drive to show up one another, and I think that's good. Competition is needed in the industry.
I agree.
But I feel like the fans don't know how to take an L. That's the only thing. There are some fans who are just like, yeah, see, I can take an L when Nintendo or Microsoft or Sony loses. I'm a fan of all 3. But just those who just don't know how to realize that they lost E3 is the issue. Not the ones who like when they compete, the ones who don't know how to essentially sore losers essentially is the issue. Because it's not necessarily like console war. It's just like me personally, I like all 3. I'm a gamer through and through, so I'm gonna call it like I see it. If they lost, they lost. If they won, simple. But it's just those who just don't know how to accept that loss is the reason why we're getting this predicament.
You want to know another bit of gaming toxicity that's happening right now? Just to prove this point a little bit further. So, Assassin's Creed Odyssey, right? The new game is coming out. So, apparently you can be, and it's, they're pulling the BioWare here, you can romance in it, because it's an RPG. So, apparently people haven't read history about how romance was in Greece, or lack thereof. Because you can, have a gay partner, you can have a straight partner, you can be asexual in the story mode, and all of that can tie into, your game. So, VG 24/7 posted an article, and one of my friends actually screenshotted the Twitter feed from that. And this is a comment from Twitter. And I gotta read this. This takes place in ancient Greece, right? The Greeks followed religious doctrine, so they would kill someone for being gay. Therefore, if this series, which prides itself in being in its historical realism, apart from the characters having an impact, is going to add this, it's wrong. I don't know about you two, but I know a little bit about my history, and I know a little bit about Greece, and, I mean, didn't they, and this is not me condoning this, didn't they even, have young partners in ancient Greece?
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah. And most of those relationships were of the homosexual variety. So yeah. This here is what I've been talking about for the last, like, 3 Azazel's Dens. About how toxic the gaming community can really be. Because I see this shit constantly, not only on Facebook, but on Twitter, on Reddit, you know, people dissecting this because of the political climate. And it's not just the gaming community, it's everything. But this here, this one screenshot, and I'm actually going to live edit this up, sums up the majority of E3. You know, in live chat at least. So I hate being a downer per se here, but come the fuck on. Assassin's Creed has never been 100% historically accurate by any stretch of the imagination. You know, and has never been one to shy away from, you know, themes that would offend people. So, yeah, this gets live edited up. As of right now. And the guy's rebuttal to the LOL, you think ancient Greece wasn't gay. His rebuttal was, I know ancient Greece followed Christianity. So, there's no hypocrisy in Christianity at all, whatsoever. There's no hypocrisy in religion of any kind whatsoever.
This is hypocrisy and everything.
Exactly.
Everyone.
This is what's been driving me nuts, right? Since E3 started, we've had wonderful, you know, games shown. We've had wonderful, you know, titles, you know, brought, you know, to life. We see all this wonderful press, you know, all this great shit that makes E3 such a magical event. And then we deal with this. This wonderful screenshot, you know, over here. You know, I can't fucking fathom why this is what triggers people. Why, out of everything in gaming, this is what triggers people. Is it because it's a hot button issue? Is it because, you know, the fact that, you know, 2 titles now show that they're going to support this? Where was the backlash in, like, Mass Effect? Where was the backlash in, you know, fucking Dragon Age, you know? Both of those allowed you to have a gay or lesbian relationship, you know? Or even a bisexual one in Dragon Age.
People are fucking stupid, man. They'll find anything to complain about. It's like, it's mind-boggling how people can just sit here and spew all this hatred when, if you want a game that's all about all about Christianity and shit like that, why don't you make the game yourself?
I mean, there is a game that's literally called the Bible game. I'm not bullshitting. That's an actual thing. But, like, you know, it's not like this didn't even exist in biblical times. You know, that's what's mind-boggling about this. But, yeah. So, you know, getting off the salty train here, onto an even more salty train. Destiny 2's Forsaken expansion. Like, I know a lot of us here, especially myself, are, you know, kind of off the whole Destiny hype. For multiple reasons. But, you know, it's pretty impressive. This is outside of the Destiny booth at E3. It's live editing up. And it's also in our, you know, Discord a little bit other ways up. There's a candlelight fucking vigil for a character in the game. My boy, Cade 6, gets killed off in the trailer. The only character in the fucking game with any bit of personality. So I'm a bit salty about this. You know, he is an EXO, so there's fan theories that, you know, maybe he can be brought back. But if you read the lore, you know, if the ghost is killed and, you know, his ghost gets shot, so, you know, there's no chance of resurrection here, really. They want you to have this, you know, actual fucking need to get revenge for Cade, You know, so they've killed off the only character with personality in the game, which will drive more players away from the fucking franchise, which is fucking stupid. So yeah, and by the way, you need both DLCs and the core game to play the expansion.
Brilliant.
Brilliant marketing, Bungie. You definitely weren't corrupted by Activision at all.
You were once a good studio, making Halo games. Now you're making trash.
Pretty much.
Said every studio currently ever.
Yeah. Then we have Ghost of Tsushima, which looks like it's got a bit of a Tenchu style gameplay. They showed off a monk rescue mission and what I refer to in the live document, the top 10 anime betrayals demo.
See, with that game, I'm gonna need more.
More info. Don't worry, they'll show it off at E3 again next year.
Hey, here we go again. Same 3 titles. Last of Us 2.
Well, I mean, by then Spider-Man will be out, so they'll need to replace it with something else.
Yeah, it will probably be.
Maybe by then that 4th trailer will belong to Dreams, which we saw a little bit of after the conference itself.
They'll probably remaster the probably remaster Ratchet and Clank for the reboot.
Please don't give them any more ideas, Thurman.
Reboots.
Reboots for the reboots.
We need more remastered games.
Oh my god. But yeah, the game looks like I said, the game looks fucking orgasmic, but how much of it's actual real gameplay and how much of it's pre-rendered. Then we saw this game called Control from Remedy. It looks kind of like, I think it was Quantum Break. Yeah, Quantum Break was their last title. It kind of looks like a sequel to it. So I don't know what's going on here. I mean, we got, what, 30, 40 seconds of gameplay? Or not even gameplay, trailer?
Yeah, it was more so trailer.
So yeah, we had that shown. Then rats. Bad rats all over. And a Resident Evil 2 trailer, which gave us an actual release date. One of the few release dates we got this entire conference.
I think that's the only one. No, besides the Spider-Man, yeah.
Yeah, but we already heard the Spider-Man release date before now.
Wah.
But yeah, we had that. So, I mean, that's coming out in January. We have Trover Saves the Universe from Squanch Games and Justin Roiland, which is just Rick and Morty in a bathtub.
Yeah, I seen that. I'm like, what?
I saw that. I'm like, oh, it's just Justin Roiland. Okay. It all makes sense. It all makes perfect sense once you put Justin Roiland's name on it. And then we have the biggest mindfuck in gaming history.
I already know what it is.
Death fucking Stranding. What the shit is this game?
Baby fetuses!
Baby fetuses and caterpillars and, you know, delivering Amazon Prime packages.
Walking Simulator 2000XX.
Yeah, 20XX. Let's just put that there. Kojima, you've had 3 years to win me over, dude. I love you. I fucking love you. But what even is this? And what drugs are you on, my dude?
He's like, I'm on the mind.
I'm on everything. I'm on everything.
It was funny because David was like, when he seen the trailer, like live, he was like, what the fuck is this? You had 3 years. And then when it cut to the invisible monster, he's like, oh, we got something here.
We got smoke monsters. We got fucking smoke monsters.
I was crying when I seen that baby scene. I'm like, what?
What?
That?
Like, I can't.
Did we get a release date for this game?
No.
No.
So essentially, what he's doing, he's making a movie. He's making a visual novel.
Well, that's every Kojima game, really.
He's making an interactive visual novel without the anime titties. That's what he's doing.
I mean, that's essentially every Kojima game, is it not?
This game, like, I feel like at this point, he's gonna get so far into it, he's gonna be like, okay, fuck a game. This is a movie, interactive movie.
Pay us back to a 3.5-hour cutscene in Metal Gear Solid 4.
Oh my god. It was like, he's walking to a mountain. Oh, he's walking on plains. Oh, he's going over here. And it's just like nonchalant about it. And I'm just like, what the fuck is he up to?
Yeah, it's definitely... I mean, I'm not going to get it. Because I fucking love Kojima. But, goddamn. Dude. I'm not one to condone doing drugs, but whatever you're on, keep on it, because it's at least got the media's attention.
It's at least entertaining, for sure. I honestly don't even thought about the baby fetus on the stomach thing. I don't even fucking know. I'm just, like, baffled on that one.
Watch this be the game of the year movie, and it gets an Oscar.
Gets an IGN 10 out of 10.
That Fable 10 out of 10, though. Like, it's fucking bizarre, to say the least. I'm like... I really hope that these games come out for this generation as much as they've been showing them. Well, I mean, come the fuck on, guys. You know, there's not a whole lot of time left to hit this generation. I'm trying to find the meme that I found for walking sim or delivery sim.
Oh, the one I shown you, or is it? I mean, I shown the picture of him wearing the costume.
No, not that one. Not that one.
Okay.
Like, it was somebody that, you know, photoshopped. Like, here it is. Somebody took the time to Photoshop this. This got to get some credit. I don't know who the fuck did this. So I can't really give credit, but there's a watermark on the meme.
Oh, I remember that one. Yeah.
I
big,
that, like
Amazon
I figured it out.
boxes on his back.
You know the
God,
sad
nice.
part is I could picture Amazon actually having somebody do that. Given their shitty conditions,
dude,
my dude.
He's got a forklift in the back of him. That's
Right?
a forklift.
There's a full-blown fucking forklift attached to this man.
Welcome to Amazon Prime Slave Edition.
Right? It's essentially what this fucking game is, to be honest. So there's my takeaway from Death Stranding.
The after that was the last game they showcased, right?
They did showcase Spider-Man after that, and Neo 2.
That was okay. Yeah.
But Neo 2 looks really good. I'm not gonna lie.
Spider-Man. People were like, "Oh, Spider-Man won the Sony conference." I'm like, "Sit the fuck down." No, it didn't.
Spider-Man didn't win shit for anybody. Okay, Spider-Man's
Good
been
game,
in
but it's not winning.
Spider-Man didn't win. Did you hear people saying that Spider-Man's gonna win Game of the Year next year?
You know, I wouldn't be surprised if it wins Game of the Year for one reason. It's got Insomniac attached to it, man.
Good point.
And Insomniac, you know, at least can develop a game. You know, they can make a great fucking game.
They brought back memorable characters, I can say that. The Sinister Six, so, I mean...
Yeah. They brought back the Sinister Six. They brought that new villain that we don't really know a whole hell of a lot about. They showed the Raft prison demo. They showed a lot of gameplay, actual fucking gameplay. It doesn't feel like just Arkham with a Spider-Man skin anymore.
So,
yeah.
So I mean, there's a lot there. They showed off another game from Software, Daracene. It's a PSVR title, and they showed off Dreams during the post conference with a music demo. I didn't watch that, so I don't know how that fucking went. That was a shit show or not. But that was a really great, you know, fucking conference. Aside from the fact that it's the same 3 games, you know, year after year. You know, and what we really mean by the same 3 games is they've shown Death Stranding since it's been announced. They've shown Spider-Man since it's been announced. And then, until now, every E3 had been fucking God of War 4, which gets a new Game Plus mode added to it sometime this year. But Ghost of Tsushima after PSX has taken its place because God of War came out. So it's going to be rinse and repeat for these 3 titles now. Obviously, Spider-Man will be rotating out because it releases in September, so that title will be rotated out to some other bullshit that's coming out. I'm going to assume, probably this Control game, or, maybe fucking Daracene, who knows, or Dreams would probably be the logical one, because it doesn't seem like it's anywhere near done. And with it being a Media Molecule game, I'd rather they take their time, because, they put a lot of creative thought into their gaming shit, But that's pretty much the conference. So,
not to mention how awkward it was at the very end. A lot of people thought there would be more.
Oh, let's not forget, Sony had 2 conference locations.
Oh yeah, that was another thing too.
They opened it up into the church of the PlayStation, and then fucking Sean Layden's out there with more neckbeard than ever, fucking talking about this great game, and all about the player kind of shit, preaching like a reverend. And lo and behold, we're going to show you the same 3 fucking games for the 3rd year running.
Here you go, boys.
Praise be to Sony. You will pay us regardless. If I wasn't such an atheist, I'd be a great preacher.
Praise the Lord, Sony. Amen.
Go on. But yeah, so they did that. They were fucking fantastic job of making everybody wonder what the fuck was going on with that. But yeah, it was a great time. So guys, since you're the last 2 standing, what were your thoughts on E3 overall, aside from the fact that Microsoft?
I loved it, man. Honestly, I'm happy. I can't complain. To be honest. Like,
me neither.
Oh no, I got the games that I wanted. Smash, Devil May Cry 5, Jump Force. Like I called that to begin with. It was just really good. I wouldn't say it was the best E3 we've gotten, but it was definitely one that we deserved. Congrats to like all the companies that put their work into this, man. It's a I know it's not easy, but it was a very interesting, especially since I actually because one of those indie games called Tunic looks really good. I'm gonna get that day 1 too when it gets released. So no complaints, man. Really. Overall, I give it like an A plus this year.
Yeah. See, I'm not gonna be as generous as you for a couple of reasons, really. As much as I love E3 and everything that E3 brings, it's always, fun to watch these companies come on stage, or for those that don't bother coming on stage and give a sizzle reel, giving us that, but the fact that, we've seen a lot of, the same shit this year. I know a lot of people are hard to work on these titles. I'm not disparaging any of that. I know how hard it is to, take stuff from, concept art to, putting it into code, putting it into these, these graphical forms to, making levels, I know all of that goes into gaming. I respect everything that these people do, but when we have recycled conferences like, Anthem being a big selling point for EA, you see, the same titles like we've mocked for Sony, Crackdown making another appearance, the fact that we're teasing the fact that you don't have fucking microtransactions in your fucking titles as a major selling point for your games at this point, there's a lot that left me, feeling a little bit empty, for this. So I'm just like, okay, guys, you did good. You did great, but you didn't do fantastic. I give it a solid B for the overall grade for E3 this year. If we've seen a little bit more from some of these titles, especially like Cyberpunk, and we've seen a lot more from like fucking Battletoads from the Microsoft end, or we've both seen a release date for another fucking Sony title. That will have raised my grade a little bit. Nintendo, if they have shown off some of the titles they've been teasing since the Switch was announced. That would have been better for me, at least. Fucking EA did anything besides what they did. The same for Square.
They wouldn't be EA if they surprised us.
They wouldn't be EA if they didn't have a cringy host that, you know, talked way too close to her mic. You know, like if I went up to this, like, hey there. Yeah, you hear that? That's called ear rape.
The mic.
Yeah, like, she was right up too close to the mic, so there was audio issues. They had to keep fucking with her, you know, on the sound end. So, you know, there's that. You know, if Ubisoft went open with a goddamn Just Dance again, you know, there was a lot that was like, okay, this is cringe. And the worst of it all, like when Kate was here, like, fucking Andrew WK at the Bethesda conference. That there just ruined my night. I was like, no, my dude, you are way out of key. Get ready to die. No, dude, no, shut the fuck up. Go back to your obscurity.
You're fucking obscure, fucking.
I still was some voice thinking Microsoft and Nintendo did nothing.
So yeah, so a solid B from me. Justin, you got a rating for it?
I'd say it'd be like, it's between a B+ and an A-.
Here's something one of them said, David.
All right.
It's in Discord, Ragtag.
All right.
Let me look that up too. I'm gonna start up. The fuck?
Oh yeah. Exactly. So that's a really great point there, Thurman. Like, they really, you know, a lot of the titles that were shown at the Microsoft conference are indeed, you know, multi-platform. You know, so, I mean, it's not like Sony got destroyed. It's not like they didn't have, you know, presence at the conference. It's not like they didn't have something there. Their major support, though, for their conference was shown on their rival stage. You know, because a lot of those multi-plats would have, you know, if they would have split their multi-plat presence, you know, 50-50, you know, that would have been a lot better of a conference for the Sony end of things. That's a very good point there, Thurman. So yeah, it's definitely, you know, one of those things that I'm, you know, kind of ashamed that, you know, we didn't see a whole lot there, but I understand why. I definitely understand why. There's a lot of stuff that was, you know, not there. I understand why there was, like, not a lot that was shown on the Sony stage, really, because Microsoft, you know, probably paid them more money to be on their stage. And as great as God of War was, you know, as a sales piece, one title cannot push consoles fully. That's really the only, you know, AAA first-party title that's been released in, what, the last 3 years on the Sony end?
Yeah. God of War. Yeah.
So, yeah, you definitely brought up a great point there, Thurman. And like I said earlier, like, E3 isn't about who really won, who really lost. It's a glorified marketing aspect for companies, and the fact that we as gamers, you know, take it as this is what drives us, this is what makes us, you know, say this company won, this company won, this company won. It's not really that at all. It's really, you know, what they can market to their shareholders, what they can market towards, you know, us as consumers, what they can market towards us as, you know, gamers themselves, you know, because to companies like these, we are their source of income. But to show that there's any interest in it, they've created this event for their shareholders to see, like, see, this title here's drawing more interest, so we're going to put more people here on this. This title's drawing less interest, so we can, you know, take some of these people from there and put them into this project. And that's what we got with, like, Andromeda, sadly, when you think about it.
Speaking of sadly, so I just, David, I know you showed me the thing. I just saw the Studio Trigger countdown to Arc System Works collaboration.
Mm-hmm.
So, are we getting another Blades of Cross tag with Studio Trigger anime? You going some Kill la Kill versus.
See, I don't think this really counts as like E3 news, but I mean it was announced around E3, so I guess we can talk about it here. So Studio Trigger, has a countdown on their site, as well as Arc Systems, for some sort of collaboration. My thoughts for this, and this is what really triggers me, pun intended, is it's going to be DLC for Cross Tag.
Either that. So either that, or hey, we're gonna get a Kill versus Elite Academia, which is Darling of the Franxx fighting game. Oh my god, that'd be super funny. Or
Hero, cuck me again, please.
Oh, we're gonna get some Arc System versus Studio Trigger fighting game crossover.
Here's why I kind of think this, Thurman. There was shit that was data mined in the demo, and Studio Trigger, while they weren't in the data mine, there were blank spaces in the data mine. So they weren't directly in it, but they were kind of directly in it. So those blank spaces, I think, are just for the Trigger collab, and they didn't want to put anything in there to surprise people. Like, we know you're going to mine this demo, but fuck you. So I'm like, I almost picture like, Ryuko and fucking Sasuke Kiryu in there. I can picture, like Nue being in there, for 3 from Trigger, for Kill the Kill in there. 02 and Ichigo being in there, potentially. There's a lot that could be done with this. Trigger's got a fucking massive catalog of characters, but those are the ones that are coming to mind right offhand here. And, if they do a full-on crossover game, they picked the perfect time to hype it up. Not gonna lie.
Well, yeah, honestly, you're not wrong.
Because it's getting almost as much press as like any of the press conferences from fucking E3. So
get more press than Sony's E3 press conference.
Sadly, but yeah,
they did it themselves.
They really did, dude.
Next thing you know, we're gonna see a Arc System press conference next year.
Don't give them any ideas. They'll find a way to monetize it. But thanks for tuning in. Whether this was live or the archive. There's not a whole lot more to talk about, E3 wise here. We've pretty much covered, every conference from, every, thing here. It's really, like I was saying, it's not about who really won company wise. It's about us winning, and it's really, I hate that we've been reduced as gamers to, the fucking wonderful, like, mine did better, no, mine did better, no, mine did better, no, mine did better. It doesn't matter. It's not a dick measuring contest, people. Enjoy the games that we get. Enjoy, the fact that we have this wonderful event for us to see shit before it comes out. Because without this, you wouldn't know if you were getting handed a dog turd or a fucking pile of gold. And that's the sad fact of fucking gaming now. So until next time, peace.
Deuces.